Welcome back to Loeb Stadium here in Lafayette. It's the Colt World Series on MTC Sports. Hoosier North already one local team into the semifinals. Lafayette trying to join them there. First, they must get past a very tough team from Seoul, South Korea. Thanks for joining us at MTC Sports alongside Chris Walker, Greg Rakestraw with you. And Chris, this is a Lafayette team that they won on Friday night, had the bye, couldn't get past a very good Mexico team last night. What do they kind of learn and take away from last night and apply to this evening's game?
Hopefully they've learned they're going to have to be sharp tonight. This South Korean team is very fundamentally sound. They run the bases well. They defend well. It's going to be a very good game. I'm looking forward to it.
This is a team from South Korea that maybe is trying to equal what Greensboro, North Carolina did a year ago, where they lost their opening game of the tournament and are trying to win their way back to the final day of it.
Yeah, let's see what happens, Greg. I mean, this is two good teams here today. I am really anxious to see what Lafayette team comes out, because I'm telling you, from what I've seen thus far, this South Korean team, they don't give up. It doesn't matter if they get down early. They continue to fight back, and they just keep fighting, and they play well.
Our pregame show brought to us by IU Health, Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Give them a call at 765-448-8000 or online at iuhealth.org/rnet. Batting lineup for the Lafayette All-Stars. Clearly they're the home team in terms of fan base, but on the scoreboard they are the visitors this evening. Powers, Huffins, and Levesque, followed by Deering, Tyson, and Berenda. Bauer, LaGuire, and Siegel. A very similar lineup to what we have seen them use throughout the course of this tournament. Defensively for South Korea, let us show you their outfield look. Shin, Yuk, and Hong in the outfield. Young, Lee, Bak, Kwan in the infield. Jae Young Shim is the catcher, and the pitcher, Sung Won Moon. It's the starting nod for Korea. Their pitching has been solid, not spectacular. They've given up some runs in terms of overall way the games have been played. What they have not done is committed errors to create additional runs, which has allowed their bats to play catch-up and eventually win them a couple of games in a row.
Greg, you're right on. This has been the most solid infield I think I've seen in the tournament thus far. They're going to have to do that tonight against Lafayette if they want to win the game. So we will see how they perform tonight.
And if there's one player in particular to watch from a defensive standpoint, the third baseman, Sang-Hoo Jung.
He can really play, man. He can pick it. I've watched him make several big-time plays in this tournament already. He is a fun player to watch. Keep your eyes on him, folks.
Again, Lafayette winners on Saturday night as they beat Central Michigan. Korea, a winner a day ago, to earn their way into this contest. Lafayette had the late game last night, where they were beaten by Mexico in a very competitive game.
Looks like we're about ready to get rocking and rolling here, Greg.
And
should be a good game.
We are actually ahead of time on our start time this evening because the previous game was played in such efficient fashion. Hoosier North beat Chula Vista, California in a game that took 74 minutes. Started at 5:11. They were off the field by 6:25. A complete game shutout thrown by Eli Talcott. So Tyler Powers will lead things off now for the Lafayette All-Stars. Young man from Central Catholic. He will be a high school senior when school starts in the next few days. First pitch fastball from Moon is over for a strike, and we are underway in our third and final game of the day here at Loeb Stadium.
Man, that's a fastball. That almost looked like a first pitch changeup. I think that is this fastball.
Swing and a miss, 0-2.
I think the approach you're going to have tonight is you're going to have to wait back, try to drive it hard to right field. Because if you get big, doesn't seem like he's really overpowering. That can get you in a lot of trouble.
This is low and away, 1-2 the count. Powers, a Cubs fan, when he is asked about his favorite baseball team.
I knew Tyler was pretty smart.
That just misses off the outside corner. Catcher did his best trying to pull that ball back across the corner.
Sure did.
Home plate umpire was having none of it, 2-2. Tyler, a part of that Central Catholic team that finished as the 2A state runners-up this year. And that's in for strike three. So Powers, a strikeout victim looking. There's one down.
It's a good pitch. Good pitch right there. Got a outer third of the plate. Take another look at it. Just freezes Tyler a little bit. Good height on the pitch.
Next up is Zachary Huffins. Strike called.
Sungwon Moon seems to be really controlling, has good command early in the game here.
1-1 the count. Huffins plays at West Lafayette High School. He will be a junior. His father, an Olympic decathlete, a medalist in the games at Sydney in 2000.
Yes, sir. His dad's in Rio right now.
This one flared to shallow center field. Easy play for Yuk out in the center, and there's 2 down. Of course, the track activities take place next week in Rio. And his father currently works with the Purdue track program.
Yes, sir. So I'm Sungwon Moon. That's may give you some cause for some concern if you're a Lafayette All-Star fan, because guys seem to be out in front. They can't seem to stay back and drive this ball the other way.
Dylan Levesque gets the nod as the pitcher tonight. And I'd say for 2/3, 3/4 of the teams, the pitcher will not hit. That is not the case for Levesque. He is an outstanding hitter at the high school level.
He has been a Colt World Series superstar in 2 years now.
Slow roller foul 0-2. He plays at Harrison. Dylan, a Cardinals fan, but his favorite player, and not surprising given his pitching background, Clayton Kershaw.
Left-handers stick together.
Popped up. This one will reach the seats.
Oh. Did someone get hit there?
Clear by Czar right down the left field line. Beautiful night. A little warm during the day today, but that tends to be the case around these parts during the summer. And a swing and a miss. Levesque retired on strikes, and the inning comes to an end. The inning starts with a K, it ends with a K. South Korea comes to bat when we come back here on MTC Sports. Dylan Levesque going through his warm-up tosses on the mound for the Lafayette All-Stars. Let's run you through the lineup now for Seoul, South Korea. Shin, Lee, and Jung, followed by Hong, Kwon, and Shim. Yuk, Bak, and Han, rounding things out for Seoul, South Korea. Defensive alignment now for the Lafayette All-Stars. Siegel, Huffins, and LaGuire in the outfield, and LaGuire has the arm you would expect for a right fielder. He has an absolute cannon out there in right field. Tyson, Powers, Bauer, and Deering. Ben Berenda from Central Catholic is the catcher, and Levesque is the pitcher. And tell you what, there is not exactly a shortage of talented left-handed pitching in this Lafayette area, is there?
That's exactly correct. You got Dylan Levesque, young Jackson Smeltz. I mean, you had some guys, Riley Eberhard for Lafayette Jeff. A lot of good left-handed arms going right now in the area.
We saw Talcott with a complete game shutout in the previous game for Hoosier North as a lefty.
Completely forgot about Eli Talcott. I don't know how I can do that after the game. It was easy to forget because the game he pitched went by so fast. I mean, Eli was spectacular, folks. If you did not get a chance to see that game he threw today, get on the website, get on mtcsports.net, and check it out. It won't take you very long, I promise.
What will Levesque be throwing here tonight, Chris?
You know, saw Dylan, he's going to feature the fastball. He's going to try to work in and out. He's got a curveball, looping curveball he likes to throw. An occasional changeup he'll mix in there as well. So we'll see if Dylan has his command tonight. If he does, he's going to be pretty effective.
This is just the third game of the tournament for Lafayette. They played on Friday, then had the bye to get to Sunday. So Korea's played one more game. What sort of impact do you expect that to have this evening?
Well, they're not fazed by any situation. They've been out here, they've played, they've performed. They are just fun to watch. And just You know, they put on a clinic, and like I talked about earlier, running the bases, playing defense. I really enjoy watching this team play the baseball game.
Jae-Ho Shin to lead things off, the left fielder. Lafayette trotting out the red jerseys this evening. You'll see them wear a mixture of blue and red during the course of this tournament. Levesque first pitch fastball, pours it in for a strike. Dimensions here at this ballpark, 321 down the left field line, 368 to left center, 407 to left of center, 355 to right center, and 327 down the right field line. There was a home run that was pulled by Grant McCoy towards right field in our previous game. Wind is lazily blowing across from left to right field as you watch this game. This one goes back up the middle. Second baseman gets there, wheels, fires, and got him.
Wow, what a play by Alex Bauer.
Shin kind of pulled up a little bit as he was going through the bag at first. I think if he runs that one through, he's safe.
I think you're right, Greg, but still does not take away from the tremendous play by Bauer, ranging toward the second base bag, picks it, throws it on a run, falling away. Good strong throw, and he is out. Good play.
I thought at first glance that was the right call that was made. So Bauer with the nice work at second base.
Really nice play by your second baseman there.
Gyu-Min Lee now to the plate. He is the starting shortstop. And line drive snared by the third baseman. That's Tyson. There's quickly 2 away.
Pitching to contact. We saw that earlier. Good things happen when you do that.
Well, he's getting his fielders involved early, is Levesque.
Gotta love it.
Tyson barely had to move.
Kellen's got a great frame down there at third base. It's going to be hard to get one over his head.
Sang-Hoo Jung, third baseman. This a little bit easier for Tyson, but the result is the same. And first inning pace seems familiar so far here through our actions at Loeb Stadium today. 0-0 Lafayette and South Korea. Back in a moment at MTC Sports. Look inside the Lafayette dugout. Those young men represent the 5 high schools from Tippecanoe County. Lafayette Jeff, and this is their home facility at Loeb Stadium. The high school just a few blocks away. Over off of what used to be State Road 25, now US 52. Harrison, McCutcheon, Central Catholic, and West Lafayette.
You know, Greg, we talked about it a little bit in the first inning. If these Lafayette All-Star hitters are going to be successful today against Sungwon Moon, they are really going to have to stay back and think about trying to drive the ball hard. If you're a right-handed hitter, over the second baseman's head. If you're a left-handed hitter, try to drive it hard over the shortstop's head. Because that's going to keep you on that ball a little bit longer, because you have a tendency to get big and try to pull off when the velocity is not there. So you're going to have to think, drive the ball hard the other way to stay on it a little bit longer.
4, 5, and 6, Deering, Tyson, and Miranda coming up this time through for the Lafayette All-Stars. Deering plays at Harrison High School. Deering, the starting first baseman. This is a big White Sox fan and a big Chris Sale fan, so we had a little good-natured fun at his expense on Friday. Wanted to make sure that he was nowhere near the jerseys at any point in time.
And scissors?
During pregame preparations.
Bobby don't get cheated on his swings either.
That's in for a strike. Bobby says he hopes to attend the University of Michigan when his high school days are over with. Swings over top of that one, 0-2. You know, sometimes, and you just kind of when you're younger in baseball, but I've even heard guys talk about it at the major level, like with the rare times you're facing a knuckleballer. If you're constantly out in front and you're constantly ahead, you almost talk to batters about, say, hey, maybe take a nudge forward in the batter's box.
That's right.
4-3 the out recorded here. First 4 up retired by Seung-Hwan Moon, and there's one down.
You know, what I've noticed in the game of baseball, it seems like it's easier to get guys to move back and forth in the batter's box the younger they are. But as you start getting older, guys get comfortable, and regardless of the velocity, they like to find a spot in that batter's box and stay put there. So that's why I'm more of a fan of try to let it get deep. Like if I'm Keldon Tyson here, it's no harm. Try to foul one off in the first base dugout over that way, just to make sure you're staying on the ball. Then you're working your timing. Then you get closer to really driving a baseball here.
Swing and a miss by Tyson.
See that swing right there, Keldon. He's pulling off. If he hits that ball, it's going to be off the end of the bat. He's going to roll over. It's going to be he's going to hook it to the shortstop for a 6-3. So you really have to stay on and try to drive the middle or middle away here.
One and one the count. Keldon says his favorite team, the Cardinals. His favorite player is Ozzie Smith. He also says that his favorite movie is Forrest Gump. So I'm actually convinced that Keldon's actually 32. That's over for a strike.
It's a really good pitch by Seung-Hwan Moon there. Kind of a little cutter that landed right on the outside part of the plate. As a hitter, there is nothing you can do about that.
Two and two the count. Keldon will play at McCutcheon next year as a junior.
Had a really good sophomore campaign and a first-team all-conference player.
Very talented North Central Conference. Full count now. Chris McCutcheon making that move a couple of years ago after being in the Hoosier Crossroads Conference for the better part of 15 years. Josh Loggins down the third base line, the head coach for the Lafayette All-Stars. And good eye by Tyson. Doesn't chase the ball out of the zone at a full count. And the first baser of this game belongs to Lafayette.
That was a really good hold by Keldon. He thought about it. He was close, but he was able to hold off, get the walk, and now we have good speed on the bases.
So Ben Berenda now comes to the plate. You see the CC on the helmet, representing Central Catholic. That's fouled down the first base line. Talk about the proximity of Lafayette Jeff being just a handful of blocks away. The same thing for Central Catholic.
All the schools are pretty close. Leads to some good rivalries throughout the high school seasons.
From an enrollment standpoint, Central Catholic of the 1A variety. That ball gets away. Tyson late to get to it, but so was the first baseman, and he had no help from the catcher. So that's an extra base for Tyson as the pickoff play goes awry for South Korea. Take one more look at it here.
Yeah, I think that is going to be an E3 on
Yeah, I put that on the first baseman.
I agree.
Ball gets away from the catcher. Tyson going to try to advance. They'll throw down. Tag it. Not apply. They don't have the ball. He's going to take off, and Tyson will come all the way home. And the broadcaster jinx has been applied to South Korea. We talked about this to start the broadcast, how they have not made mistakes in the field. And they literally just gave Tyson a free pass to first and then 3 free bases after that.
Yes, they did. Just not very uncharacteristic of the South Korean team so from what we've seen so far in the tournament. Ooh, that one hurts.
So a wild pitch and then an error on the third baseman trying to make that swipe tag on a ball in the dirt and didn't have the ball. Either way, it is a run without benefit of a hit for Lafayette. 1-2 the count. Berenda sprays that one foul.
Yeah, you got to make sure you catch the ball first before you tag.
And again, sprayed foul. We were talking about this before the pickoff play unfolded. Central Catholic from an enrollment standpoint in the 1A level, but they've got a couple of sports, including baseball, in this state play at the 2A level with the tradition and success factor the IHSA implemented a few years ago. Just off the corner, 2-2.
That's a great pitcher's pitch there and a great hold by Berenda. So good job by both parties there.
It is certainly possible that Central Catholic could elevate to 3A in baseball after this coming season.
You know, as we've said a couple broadcasts ago, CC, they don't rebuild, they reload there. It's just a really good baseball program. Yes, they play in a lower class, but they have a bunch of good players that can play the game, and they're just good.
33-2, their record this past year. Lost 7-6 in the state final to Providence. This one lined to right field, but the right fielder, well, doesn't have it.
Oh, wow.
Kind of couldn't exactly time out. Thought he had him set up perfectly. And almost overran that ball. Pops out of the heel of his glove, and Berenda is standing on second base.
See, is that going to be an E9, you think, there? Greg? It's right in his.
It's tough. Either way, Berenda's at second.
Either way, it's a really good swing by Berenda.
Listed as a hit.
Okay.
And I'd say that's one of those 50-50 calls.
Gotcha.
Given how hard he hit it, that wasn't an easy play to make.
That was hit hard.
Bauer kind of hinted at a potential bunt that time as he watches it go by. Bauer, a junior to be at Harrison High School. This one off the end of the bat. First baseman makes the play. He'll step on the bag at first. In effect, Bauer moves the runner over to third, but there's now two down.
Alex hits it hard, but right to the first baseman. He almost got his glove down too late. That ball's almost by him, but he's able to stab it, step on the base, and he looks up at third, make sure the runner doesn't advance from third to home, and now you have 2 outs.
Here is LaGuire. Young man also plays at Harrison.
Good rip right there by Jonathan LaGuire.
When asked his favorite subject in school, he said not math and science.
I think someone had the answer of lunch the other day.
Oh, that's typical. 1-1 the count. Says his favorite team is the Cubs, but his favorite baseball player, Bo Jackson.
He throws a lot like Bo Jackson.
Swing and a miss, 1-2.
Good pitch. Really good pitch by Moon there. He took something off of that one, had Jonathan LaGuire out in front. The second strike of the at-bat.
Two and two. LaGuire, the number 8 hitter here for the Lafayette All-Stars.
Jonathan's a big kid, man. He's got a good frame on him.
When asked about his other favorite athletes in a different sport, he said Andrew Luck, the quarterback of the Colts. So the good news for Jonathan was he didn't miss anything last night while he was playing against Mexico. The cancellation of the Hall of Fame game. Full count. And that one misses high.
Look at that bat.
So third base runner of this inning, and 2 of them now have been because of bases on balls. And we're going to have, looks like not a conversation with the pitcher. They're going to make a position change already.
Wow.
So it looks like we may have, I'm not sure a new pitcher, but at least we're going to have a change at the catcher position. So while we get this all sorted out, let's quickly step aside. We'll take this quick break, come back, and have some players moved around the diamond for South Korea when we come back here on MTC Sports.
Oh, come on, everybody. I think this is my grandson. Little girl, you look so lonesome. I see you are feeling blue. Come on over to my place. Hey girl, we're having a party. We'll be singing, dancing and singing. Baby, come on over tonight.
Hi, I'm Ashley with the Farmers Bank. I'm here to introduce the Farmers Bank mobile banking app for your smartphone. Find us at the App Store or the Play Store. To find our app, search for the Farmers Bank Mobile Banking Fiserv Solutions. Have your finances at your fingertips anytime, all the time. Sign up today. The Farmers Bank, your local bank, your mobile bank, your bank for life. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Pony baseball began in the summer of 1951 with the organization of the original Pony League in Washington, Pennsylvania. The league was originally designed to help transition 13 and 14-year-old players from the Little League Diamond to the regulation-sized Diamond. Today, more than 500,000 players participate in the Pony organization annually in the United States and in more than 25 countries around the world. For more information on Pony baseball, go to pony.org. Don't miss Pony baseball for the world. Pure baseball, pure pony. There you see the new pitcher who was the center fielder in Sung-Young Yuk. So the lefty comes in after just 8 batters faced by Sung-Yeon Moon. The catcher in Shim has now moved to left field. Jaemin Han, the designated hitter, has moved into the game as the catcher. And I believe the left fielder in Shin has moved to center. I think that is the extent of the positional changes for South Korea. So after mowing through the first 4 batters in relatively easy fashion, clearly something that the Korean coaching staff didn't like what they saw in the last couple 3 hitters, and they make a move immediately.
Yeah, didn't waste any time. With this being an elimination game, they want to continue to play.
So the number 9 hitter and Jay Siegel to the plate now. That's in for a strike. Siegel plays for Lafayette Jeff, so he's used to playing games at this park. This facility used for high school baseball, Legion baseball, and now the Prospect League. Toss back to first, and Jonathan McGuire dives back in. This was the first year of the Lafayette Aviators, part of a 12-team league, which has 3 franchises in Indiana. Last year's champs, the Terre Haute Rex and the Kokomo Jackrabbits. That misses 1-1 the count.
Jay Siegel had a really good sophomore campaign for the Broncos. He came up clutch for us on several occasions. I'd like to see what he can do here in this situation on the big stage in the Colt World Series.
And this one down the right field line. Right fielder will pull up the brakes as that one will get out of play into the bullpen foul. By the way, we do have confirmation now that Shin has moved from left to center. So all in all, 4 different positional changes in the lineup for South Korea. But all players that were already in the batting lineup. They have 14 players on the trip. LaGuire goes. Catcher lets him go. Runners at second and third now, 2-2 the count.
Really good jump by Jonathan McGuire. Really good speed. There's no way you got to throw him out there. Lafayette has second and third here, 2 outs, 2-2 count on Jay Siegel.
Siegel, slow rolling ground ball, could be trouble. Third baseman Fields fires, got him.
Wow.
Bang bang play at first base. There was the defensive prowess we were talking about from Sang-Hoo Jung. 1 run though for Lafayette. Take one more look at it here. Siegel made it a play down the line. You're watching the Colt World Series on MTC Sports.
Construction Projects mean deadlines. At McAllister Machinery and the Cat Rental Store, we understand the challenges our customers face. That's why our team of professionals are here to help. From our knowledgeable support staff to our industry-leading service department, McAllister Machinery and the Cat Rental Store are here to make sure you get the right equipment delivered on time. Whether it's Cat equipment, JLG lifts, or Solaire air compressors, we carry it all. McAllister Machinery and the Cat Rental Store, helping build Indiana since 1945.
My name's Gary Gangwer, and I own the Gangwer Insurance Agency as well as farm here in Clinton County. 1974, I bought my first combine and became a custom combiner for area farmers. Most teenagers buy cars, but I was crazy enough to buy a combine. My father wasn't a farmer, but it was important for me to farm. That's all I ever wanted to do.
Thanks to our friends at the Gangwer Insurance Agency, all of our tremendous sponsors that bring this tournament to you here on MTC Sports. It's our last blast of baseball before we get into football season, which begins next Friday night.
It's hard to believe it's upon us.
Well, the pro football season was supposed to begin last night, but things didn't exactly go all that well.
So a little birdie told me you were supposed to be doing a post-game show. How'd that
I
go?
did a post-game show without a game actually being played, which was a first for me. I got home 5 hours earlier. It was great for me, believe me. 4, 5, and 6 coming up here for South Korea. Rak Hyung Hong to lead things off. He is the right fielder.
Good spot by Dylan Vec, placing the first pitch inside fastball on the corner for strike one.
His favorite team, the St. Louis Cardinals, a young man at the plate. Strike number 2 is called.
Same spot.
One of the 8 current players from South Korea who plays in the major leagues is the current closer for the St. Louis Cardinals. Fouled back.
Dylan tried to hit that same spot for a third time in a row.
Somebody in St. Louis these days says 065, they're not playing bingo. That is their closer. The curveball misses 1 and 2 the count.
See if he tries to come back with that hard inside fastball. Gonna go away.
Popped up. Right fielder LaGuire has a beat on this one. Drifting back a little bit, but makes the catch, and there's one down. First outfield opportunity after 3 balls in the infield in inning number 1.
It looked like Levesque wanted to try to go away a little bit, but that ball kind of tailed back over the plate. Still was able to get an induced lazy fly ball to right fielder.
Kyung-Mi Kwan into the game now, the first baseman. That's in for a strike. Says the Dodgers his favorite team. Again, that's not surprising with Chan Ho Park being a Dodger for so many years and kind of being kind of the first player to really make his way from South Korea to Major League Baseball.
He's a good pitcher.
Had a career that spans some 17 years. First 8 of those with the Dodgers. And it just misses 1 and 2 the count. This one sent to center field. Huffins barely had to move a muscle. 2 down.
Pitching to contact. It's been the name of the game today for the pitchers. We saw Eli Talcott do it in the first game. Dylan Vec now doing it here.
So Jae-Young Shim, who began the game as the catcher, now out in left field. Just off the corner for Levesque.
Just missed a spot there. Good pitch.
Top of the lineup due up next time through for the Lafayette Stars. That's in for a strike.
working at a good pace.
Little high, 2-1.
A little high with the breaking ball.
Levesque on the mound. This is his second year playing in this event. Young man originally from Canada. Three and one.
But that one didn't miss by much. Could have crossed that plate. As a left-handed pitcher throwing inside the right-handed hitter, it's got to cut across that plate pretty hard. And that one just missed.
Swing and a miss, 3-2. Levesque yet to record a strikeout in this one. All 5 outs have been made in the field of play. Strike 3 called. I think he fouled that comment away from 2 pitches ago. They didn't miss it by much. He hit the zone that time. 6 up, 6 down for South Korea. Through 2 in Lafayette. The home team leads by 1 at MTC Sports.
Pepe's Mexican Restaurant is excited to announce new menu items to an already stacked lineup of authentic Mexican dishes. Everything from tossed greens with fruit to a Pepe-style chicken pizza. For you seafood lovers, try the shrimp tacos. For my personal favorite is the barbacoa taco dinner. Whether it's a new menu item or one of our signature selections, be sure to wash it down with a tasty beverage. Whatever your flavor, make Pepe's your stop for lunch or dinner. Located on Sagamore Parkway in the mall parking lot, Lafayette.
Good look inside the Lafayette dugout. Greg Rakestraw, Chris Walker with you on MTC Sports. Lafayette trying to join Hoosier North in the semifinals tomorrow night. Hoosier North will rematch with Aruba at 5 o'clock tomorrow. Lafayette trying to get a rematch with Mexico tomorrow night at 7:30. So we're in the early stages of this one. Top of the lineup rolling back through now for Lafayette, but they are seeing a different pitcher than they did in Yook. Powers a strikeout victim last time up. That's in for strike number 1 here.
That's a really good breaking ball by Yook there.
By the way, double-barreled action of the bullpen for Lafayette. Levesque has looked fantastic, but just in case it's needed. 1-1 the count. This one low and inside, 2-1 the count. Let's check in with Sam Rumpsa. He's got a conversation for us down on the field.
Thanks, Greg. We're here with Scott McTaggart. During the year, he's coach and teacher, now head groundskeeper. How's the Colt World Series been going so far for you? A lot of long days.
It starts off with a bang. You get 3 days with 4 games in it, and it's a lot of long games, but it's a lot of fun. I mean, you look forward to being out here and seeing some friends you don't get to see all the time. You know, they come out for this kind of event, and but yeah, they're extremely long games. You get out of here about 1 or 2 in the morning, and you're back here at 7. So 3 or 4 days there, it's rough. Kind of wish to go back to school.
Yeah. Now, how is it seeing your guys that you coach for Jeff out here, either for Hoosier North or Lafayette?
It's very exciting because a lot of them grown up and they've seen all this, so they're very excited about playing in this, and to see them fulfill some of their dreams and get out here and get on the field and contribute it's a lot of fun. So I'm excited for them, and hopefully they do well. I mean, the Lafayette and Hoosier North teams are both doing well and getting pretty deep in this tournament, so it's a lot of fun.
Now, legend has it, just a few years ago, you were a legend in this tournament, throwing a no-hitter. How was that? What do you remember from that game?
I don't know if I was a legend in this tournament, but yeah, I still remember this game and or that game and against Hawaii, and it was one of those. All the stars were aligned and everything just worked out well, and the team played great, and we scored some runs, and I was lucky enough to throw a no-hitter and just had a blast. I mean, I remember the press and signing autographs and all that stuff, and and that's what these kids are going through right now. So that was such a fond memory, and I'll live with forever.
What happened in that game, though? The program says you gave up 2 runs. How'd that happen?
Yeah, I don't know how those 2 runs scored. Actually, I walked 3 guys in a row. And we just lost the game before that on walks. We walked in the final run, I believe. And I walked 3 guys in a row, and I saw the coach coming on the top step, and he was ready to take me out. And the next pitch I threw was an error in the center fielder. He dropped it, and that's how 2 runs scored. But luckily, he left me in. I got an out. And the only reason he left me in because there was a no-hitter. One of the other coaches said, no, wait. But if it wasn't a no-hitter at that point, I would have been pulled. So, yeah, it was a 7-2 ball game.
Well, hey, you still got the win. That's what matters.
It's a great memory.
All right, thanks. Thanks for the time, guys. Back to you.
Sam, thank you very much. Ground ball to shortstop for Powers. Huffins at the plate. Count at 2-1.
And Sam, don't let Coach McTaggart fool you. I've heard about that no-hitter already 5 times this week, so he remembers every pitch of that no-hitter.
Count now 3-1. Huffins a fly ball to center his previous plate appearance.
He's going to get a good pitch to hit here. I'd like to see Zach hit one in the gap, show off those wheels.
That's exactly the guy you want to see on the base pass if you're Lafayette.
That's right. Be a good matchup here, Greg, with a left-handed pitcher. Zach needs to get a one-way lead, try to see his best move as early as he can, and then you can judge if he can steal this bag or not.
So Levesque, a strikeout victim last time up. Trying to help his own cause here at the plate.
For those that are watching and listening, when I say a one-way lead, what I'm talking about is you get as far off as you can with your first movement being back to the first base. Even if he's going to throw, even if he throws home, you're leaning back towards first base. You're going one way. If he goes home, then you go back a step, then you get in your secondary lead. But you're trying to get up as far as you can to see the left-handed pitcher's best move.
Levesque swings over top of that one, 1-1 the count.
Thing is, with that leg kick, I think Zach didn't even have to have a big lead. He can steal on that leg kick.
And back to first base goes Huffins. Levesque plays at Harrison High School, also plays for the Indiana Bulls travel baseball program.
There he goes.
Huffins goes. Levesque's going to let him try to steal it, and he will.
No chance. He can fly.
You think about giving him a look at third even here?
Absolutely. If you can find your timing, get a second base, find out if that pitcher's a one-looker, two-looker, or no-looker, and you steal third off the pitcher. I mean, you're not going to steal it off a catcher here. So you got to find that pitcher's habits, and then when you pick that up, you can steal off of him.
And Levesque, swing and a miss. Strikeout victim for a second time.
So let's see if we can pick up his pattern. I saw the first time you look back at Zach Huffins one time. Let's see when he comes set this time how many times he looks back at Zach Huffins.
So Deering, ground ball to second in his previous plate appearance. 3 runners on last inning for Lafayette. One would come around to score, and that was very much error-induced.
So he did it again. He came set. He looked at Huffins one time. That's 2 times in a row he's had one look. So it's all based on when he comes set. He's not set yet. Now he's set. Looks one time. Throws.
This one in the dirt, but catcher in Hahn keeps it in front of him.
So the situation, I understand there's 2 outs in the inning. Okay, you don't want to make the first or third out at third base. So even if you don't steal here, the next time you get a runner on second base, you have to know that pattern of the pitcher. And then once you see that, as soon as he turns his head now, when he comes set, he's going to come set, look back one time, now you take off. There's no way he can get you.
Just misses inside, 3-0.
Pitchers are creatures of habit, and they don't like to change up their flow. And so once you can pick something like that up, it's easy pickings for a base runner.
Time is going to be called here. Last time the manager came out, there was a longer positional conversation as far as moving some things around. This is much more just a find the zone, and he might be talking about the exact same thing that you are as far as, hey, you got to be paying him more attention at second base.
Yeah, you got to at least change up the rhythm, and all it takes is, take another look, step off. You don't have to throw over. You do not have to throw over to change up a base runner's rhythm. Maybe the next time you come set, you hold a count or two more. But you have to do something differently because the very best base runners, Zach Huffins right now has tremendous speed. And once you start putting tremendous speed with being able to read pitchers, it makes it very difficult for you to get thrown out.
You would expect Deering will be getting the take sign here at 3-0. I don't think you think about sending Huffins here. Expecting a ball, frankly, right down the middle at 3-0.
That's right.
That one went close to the zone. So 5 base runners so far for Lafayette. 4 of them have been because of walks. This is what tends to happen when you have to play a 4th day in a row.
That's right. Big spot for a 2-out hit here for Kelton Tyson.
Tyson walked and scored the run for Lafayette last time through. That's curveballs in there, a beauty. Strike one called.
See, I tell you what, I would almost go against all my baseball rules here because I have the pitcher's rhythm, the pattern. And with Zach Huffins, if I can get him to third base, that creates all kinds of havoc on that pitcher because now he can't feature that curveball in the dirt for an out pitch like 0-2 situation here.
Well, Yook now is 0-2. Absolutely spotted that last curveball on the outside corner. This is that one out and away, 1-2 the count. And there will start to be some activity momentarily as Lee is going to start to loosen in the pen. Ian Sonner down there. Not throwing yet, but hanging out in the bullpen if needed. Tyson, stay alive swing, fouls that one off. 1-2.
That was a good job by Kelton because that ball was breaking back over the plate, and he just, the last second, kind of fought it off in the right field. And by the first base dugout to stay alive.
I see a couple of players standing by to stand by in the bullpen. Tyson, ground ball. Shortstop goes through his legs. Huffins makes the turn from third. He will score. Runner will advance to third. Throw comes home, which allows Tyson to go to second. A team that had been so fundamentally sound in Korea is being undone by errors tonight, 2-0.
Well, I think that was all Zach Huffins doing. Watch Zach Huffins get in the way of the shortstop there and affected him there. He didn't stay down on it. And Zach hustles around third to score. And now we have runners on second and third with 2 outs.
So 1 in each of the last 2 innings now for Lafayette. And Berenda, the catcher.
Yeah, I think I jinxed these guys.
We were both guilty of it.
They've been so fundamentally sound defensively, especially in the infield.
So 3 errors so far for South Korea. Base hit here for Berenda, likely scores 2.
Yes, it does.
Pitch from Yook is just a little bit outside, 1-1 the count.
Ben Berenda, the switch hitting catcher. That's always a good thing there.
That is a lost art form.
Yes, it is.
One of the best in this generation, of course, going to retire, not catcher, but switch hitter into Shera at the end of the season. Chipper Jones, now a couple, 3 years removed from his playing days.
Chipper Jones is one of my favorite players growing up as a kid. I wore number 10 a lot of my baseball career because of Larry Wayne Jones, a.k.a. Chipper Jones.
It's in for strike 1 and 2. Miranda hit that ball to right field last time. That was off the glove of the right fielder. That ball was not foul contact. He swung at that ball and the dirt gets away from the catcher. Miranda heads on to first base. Another run comes in for Lafayette. It's 3-0.
Wow, that's one where you really want to try to drop and block that ball and keep it in front. At least you can block it, knock it down, and throw the runner out at first base. But that gets way too far away.
So that is recorded as a strikeout. However, it is also a wild pitch, which allows Miranda to head on down to second or first base. Runner comes in to score, and there are some gifts being given by South Korea as we speak.
Yeah, they haven't been this generous all tournament.
Fastball misses high. 3-0, or 1-0, excuse me. 3-0 the lead for Lafayette. They have 3 runs on the with 1 hit. I'm not saying I disagree with the scoring decision, but that, frankly, it could be 3 runs on no hits, to be honest with you.
Absolutely.
Bauer, the 7th man to come to the plate this inning for Lafayette. That's in for a strike. And again, it's a little bit different because the catcher's at first base, but you even think about sending him towards second here.
I'm just thinking the same thing. Kelton Tyson at third base can really run. If they throw through, I may try to send Kelton and steal another run.
It should not matter now. Right field, lined up, has a play on it, makes it, and the inning is over. But Lafayette picks up another couple of runs. Into the bottom of the third they go. 3-0. Lafayette All-Stars lead on MTC Sports.
Tecton Construction Management has been serving Central Indiana for over 25 years. Whether you have a renovation project or new construction, Tecton Construction Management can assist you from the initial idea to the completion of the project. Their trademark Tecton filtering system is designed to save you time and money, providing you with more value for your investment. Both the completion schedule and budget are established before ever breaking ground to solidify your peace of mind. Before you start your next project, call Tecton Construction Management. Always on time, always under budget.
How's it going? Nice to meet you guys. I have these 2 laptops. We're going to each download a TV show. I'm going to download it on Xfinity, and you guys are going to download it with AT&T Uverse, and we're going to see who goes faster. Go.
Well, this is a no-brainer so far.
How's AT&T doing?
Struggling.
I'm ready to go. We'll wait for you guys.
Looks like we're going to be waiting for a while.
Don't let Uverse slow you down. Upgrade to an Xfinity X1 Triple Play from Comcast and save when you bundle. See for yourself. Call 1-800-XFINITY or visit Comcast.com today.
Wouldn't it be sweet to happily live a life that's filled with glee and sing about how joyful it can be?
I'd like to hear that.
Live life to its fullest every day with the highest level of primary care from Indiana University Health.
When you have your health, you have everything.
Indiana University Health. Schedule same-day primary care appointments at 1-888-IU-HEALTH.
Levesque on for his 3rd inning of work for the Lafayette All-Stars, now given a 3-run cushion in that inning. 2 walks, an error, and a strikeout that reached base because of a wild pitch. No hits in the inning. And Levesque pours in this one across the outside corner. The young man is now the pitcher in Seung Young Yuk.
Well, if you're the offensive team, you love scoring no runs on. Scoring a couple runs on no hits, but for a defensive team, that is not a good formula to win baseball games.
Young man at the plate says he's a big Dodgers fan, and Ryu, the pitcher for the Dodgers, his favorite baseball player. When asked if he had a favorite subject in school, he said, nope. Ground ball. First base, tag applied, 1 down, and that's when you know you're really funny. When you're funny in a second language, you're a pretty funny kid.
Well, you have to respect the honesty, right? It's a ground ball to first base. Bobby Deering stays down on it, make sure he corrals it, steps over on the base, but I love the honesty.
This one hits the bull, ball number 1. This is Bach, the second baseman.
Jung Young Bach hitting for the first time today.
Popped up.
That's going to stay in play, I believe.
Berenda drifts back, makes the catch, 2 down. And there is a good amount of room behind home plate here, this being an older ballpark.
Yes, it is not friendly to hitters when you do things like that.
Now Hahn, the now catcher. He too is a Dodgers fan. And his favorite player is Shin-Soo Choo.
Good player.
Currently with the Texas Rangers. Spent 1 season with the Reds, and I remember going to see a couple of Reds games that year, and basically right center was his fan club section.
It was. Sure was.
Spent a lot of time with the Cleveland Indians, did Shin-Soo Choo. Popped up. Third baseman Tyson has it taken care of, and Levesque makes easy work of South Korea in the bottom half of the third. 3-0. The All-Stars leading South Korea. As you're watching the 2016 Colt World Series on MTC Sports.
Vader removed it was his wallet. Smile it did. Ooh, at Ardente Dental.
2016 Colt World Series on MTC Sports is brought to you by some of the following tremendous sponsors: Frito-Lay and by Evonik Industries. And a big thank you to Basham Reynolds for their support of the 2016 Colt World Series. Sung Son, the action going in the bullpen. Already 2 pitchers into this one for South Korea. But both pitchers have had their struggles in finding home plate tonight.
They have. Been a very uncharacteristically played game today by Korea. I mean, we haven't seen this at all. Usually their pitchers are attacking the strike zone, their defenders make all the plays. This just doesn't look like the same team we've seen earlier in this tournament.
Pendleton throwing in case needed in the bullpen for Lafayette, but there is no need with the way that Levesque is dealing at this time.
Kyle Pendleton, one of our neighbors, McCutcheon Mavericks pitcher, came in the sectional game, sectional championship versus Zionsville, and threw extremely well.
By the way, that Zionsville team would go on to be the state runners-up this past year. You and I were talking about that game earlier. Over 6,800 in attendance at Victory Field for Zionsville and Roncalli. A game that went 9 innings. There's a guy we were talking about earlier. Don't move that camera shot. Pan back left. Perel Lucas there wearing the University of Indianapolis t-shirt, an old college buddy of mine.
There you go.
I'm sure he's got a ball kid or two down here someplace tonight. LaGuire, Siegel, and Powers. LaGuire thinking about bunting his way on. Perel, by the way, an assistant basketball coach at McCutcheon. for that McCutcheon team that was runners-up in the state this year. To New Albany and Romeo Langford.
Pro, just a really good guy, really good role model for the youth here. The guys that he deals with, comes in contact with. You don't hear anything but good things about Perel Lucas.
Two 2-0 the count. Off the mound, second baseman couldn't pick it. LaGuire makes the turn at first, but you're up 3-0. No need to force when you're the leadoff man that gets aboard.
That's right.
Second baseman maybe could have gotten a better handle on that one, but the one thing that he got a little bit of bad break on was that ball kind of kicked off the back of the mound.
It did. That would be a tough error, in my opinion. It's a hit. Oh, it's really smoked off on kind of Caroms, tries to backhand it. I think that's a base hit. That's a tough play.
So LaGuire reaches for a second time, and that is officially ruled as a base hit. Now, do you think about moving the runner over here?
You know, in a 3-0 lead, I think I'd let Jay Siegel swing away here.
Quick toss back to LaGuire.
I like to. I mean, if I'm Loggins, Coach Loggins, I would think about consider a hit and run here. Get LaGuire in motion. Jonathan can really run. See if Jay Siegel can drive a ball hard right side of the field.
Well, South Korea thinks he's going because they has now drawn a couple of throws over to first base.
That's right.
Siegel, a ground ball to third in his last plate appearance. Thought he might have had an infield hit that could have scored a run. Runner goes. Siegel swings. LaGuire needs to turn back around. Center fielder makes the catch. Throws this ball to first. LaGuire does get back in time. One down.
Yeah, Jonathan LaGuire was running on the play. Jay Siegel hits a lazy fly ball to center field, but Jonathan LaGuire took him a second or two to find out where that ball was going. He had to pump the brakes and turn around and get back, and he just made it back to first base in time.
It's one of those things where as a hitter, you almost have to recognize who's on the base paths. You got to let that pitch go.
Absolutely. Yes, you do. And in my opinion, Greg, on that play, even if it means you go down 0-2, because here's the deal. If he's able to steal that base, you get him in scoring position, then the next pitch, you fight off a ball to right field 0-2, you get an RBI there.
Welcome to Old Men Talking Baseball.
That's right.
Because while you were saying that, I was making hand gestures towards second base.
It's so true. I mean, we've seen enough games to see that and understand that. You know, these guys are a lot younger than we are, and you know they probably don't think quite as like we do in the game. But I mean, some of the stuff you're trying to teach these kids so they can learn it at an earlier level.
So Powers already back up for a third time. 0 for 2 tonight.
He's got his first good hitters count of the night. Good rip.
Sends this one straight back, meaning he didn't miss it by much.
No, he didn't. Tyler's fouled several balls straight back in the last 2 nights, and right before he's driven a ball. He's had a really good tournament thus far, hitting the ball hard. So that, to me, is a good sign for him. If he stays trying to hit this over the second base's head, he's going to be productive.
3-1 the count.
Tyler Powers is a really good baseball player. Little guy. Tyler's pretty strong, though. He's stacked pretty good. Just a really good player.
Runner goes. Powers will take that. It's ball 4. So for LaGuire, at least he'll have to go back to first base this time, but no stolen base for Jonathan. The runner's on first and second now with 1 down, and that is walk number 5 in 19 batters faced for South Korean pitching.
Wow.
Here is Huffins.
And continuing to put base runners on. That's not good. Got a plus runner here at the plate. Zach really likes to drive the ball in the gaps. It's a good opportunity for Lafayette to put some more runs on the board. Good pitch.
Beautiful curveball falls in for a strike.
Yes, it was.
Huffins walked, stole a base, and scored last time up. This is a young man that has spent some time in his formative years in New York, so when we ask him about favorite athletes and teams, there's very much a New York flavor to it. Line drive, center field, center fielder backing up over his head.
Watch him
That
run.
gets to the fence. Huffins will make the turn at second. He's going to head for third. throw goes to third, not in time. Bases clearing, triple, and 2 more on the board for the Lafayette All-Stars.
Really good swing by Zach. That ball jumped off his bat. Wow, that ball was hammered. Let's look at the pitch. I think it was a breaking ball that Zach just waits on and drives it hard over center fielder's head. And that, as soon as I saw his back to us, I knew that was a triple.
Well, that is the first hit of the game that there wasn't kind of a glance towards the official score about hit or an error. That was the first no doubt base hit. That was a no doubt extra base hit.
Yes, it was.
Makes it 5-0 in favor of Lafayette. And for the hometown folks, it looks like there might be a pair of local teams in tomorrow's semifinals.
That's impressive.
Here's Levesque. He struck out twice tonight. I'm digging the two-tone batting gloves, by the way. Line drive, right field, base hit. That'll get to the wall. It'll make it 6-0. Levesque makes the turn, and he will have a stand-up double.
I get a kick out of this. I'm looking at the Levesque family in the stands. As soon as he hit it, when he's rounding first, going to second base, everyone in this family is throwing up the break signs, telling him to stay put at second base because he got thrown out at third base in a crucial situation last night. Family's having a little fun with Dylan.
So here comes Bobby Deering. And there's almost a look towards the dugout thinking, going to be a move made here, and so far the answer is no. They are going to send another player back towards the bullpen, will South Korea. Continuing to loosen. Just 1 out. Deering off the hands, foul. Deering walked last inning and scored as well. Deering a ground ball to second in his first plate appearance tonight. And that ball was not contacted by Deering. That ball got away from the catcher, so again another wild pitch, even though it's 0-2, but an extra 90 feet for Dylan Levesque.
Catcher's got to really work to drop and block these pitches. Too many balls getting back to the backstop, giving away free bases.
Dongmin Kim, the pitcher that headed to the bullpen to loosen for South Korea.
Greg, I tell you, this just does not look like the same Korean team we've seen in any way, shape, or form tonight.
You just wonder if they're kind of worn down 4 games in as many days.
Must be.
Ground ball, that will score the run. Second baseman will go to first, get out number 2. Attack on another run this inning for Lafayette, and the lead is now 7-0.
Productive out there by Bobby Deering. Good at bat, scoring a run.
Again, that's almost one of those as a hitter. You kind of look around and see the infield's not playing in. Say, all right, you're literally aiming for second base or shortstop with a ground ball.
That's right. Good job just rolling over that ball, knowing all you have to do is hit a ground ball, second base, to get an RBI. Very well done by Bobby Deering.
Not sure if a change in the pitcher's mound is coming. However, there is going to be, it looks like, some positional changes that will be taking place. So some players going to be moving around the diamond defensively for South Korea, but no move towards the mound just yet. Although it appears the first baseman is coming in. That is Kyungmin Kwon. And I think now we will see the change on the mound. So 6 runs currently being charged to Yuk. And our third pitcher of this game, Seung Song. So we'll take this quick timeout. We'll come back and tell you about this young man when we come back. Lafayette out to a 7-run lead at the Colt World Series at MTC Sports.
Since 1969, Haley's Lock, Safe & Key has provided expertise and solutions when dealing with residential or commercial security needs. Whether you're looking for a safe, seeking access solutions, or in need of automotive keys, nobody can serve you better than Haley's.
One-on-one service and simply the best solutions we've been providing at Daily for more than 40 years.
Haley's Lock, Safe, and Keys. Call, visit, or find us online. 2 locations, Crawfordsville and Lafayette.
We love to see you here at the Farmers Bank. However, we know there are times you need to bank on your schedule, wherever you may be. With the Farmers Bank mobile banking app, you can check balances, transfer funds, pay bills, and now you can also securely deposit checks with your smartphone by simply taking a picture of the check. Download our mobile banking app today. The Farmers Bank, your local bank, your mobile bank, your bank for life.
So a series of positional changes for Korea. Son comes on to pitch. The first baseman and Kwon moves in to catch. The player that was in left in Shim will move into play first base. Shin will move back from center, it appears, to left. And Yuk will stay in the game and play the center fielder's position.
Wow.
So lots of ink and pencil being used on the Korean scorecard right now.
I'm telling you, and if you're going to be a player in the South Korean team, you better be prepared to play multiple positions.
Keldon Tyson will come to the plate, and will do so with the bases empty. 2 outs here in the top of the 4th.
Keldon is 0 for 1 today, walking his first plate appearance, and E6 in his second appearance.
Good position to be in if you're the coaching staff of the Lafayette All-Stars. Tyson, this will be the 3rd different pitcher he has seen. Walked and scored in the 2nd, reached on an error, stranded at 3rd in the 3rd. Comes to the plate with the bases empty. Some of the young men from Greensboro still hanging around and watching the tournament.
Greg, I think Mike Carmen to my left just became my best friend.
How so?
Just brought an elephant here in this press box. Oh, and he's going to wave it in our face. Look at that. That's not even fair.
Sidewinder misses low and away, 1-0 the count. So you're saying the stromboli from Arnie's for dinner wasn't enough for you?
That was very good, but man, when I see food, it doesn't matter if I'm full or not. I just eat.
Man, you're a fat guy waiting to happen if that's the case. 'Cause you're going down a road I went down about 20 years ago.
Hey, I wear that with pride.
2-0 the count. And 3-0. Son hasn't missed by much, but he's just missed off the corner so far, and all of his efforts toward home, and he's kind of looking inside. Hey, well.
He's got that sidewinder delivery, and he's just missing inside, like you're saying.
Just missed off the corners in 3 straight pitches. Tyson taking all the way. This one kind of flattens out and tails in for a strike, 3-1.
It's one of those pitches right here if you're Keldon Tyson trying to get that bat head out in front, drive a doe down the left field line.
He turned on it, and he sent a couple of guys scurrying inside of his own dugout.
Actually, he hit the foul ball to his dad. Doug Tyson makes a nice play down the line. So I'm sure Keldon's going to hear about that when they get home tonight.
1 in the 2nd, 2 in the 3rd, and now 4 in the 4th for the Lafayette All-Stars. Off the hands, up the middle.
Oh, he doesn't know it's in fair territory. Keldon didn't know it was in play.
I think he thought that was a foul ball for some reason. Now he's saying he thought he popped it up.
He fouled it off behind him. That was very odd. I've never seen that before.
Never crossed home plate going towards first. That's all right for Lafayette. The damage is already done. They scored 4. They lead 7-0 as Levesque returns to the mound when we come back on MTC Sports.
All the highlights. All the breakdowns. All the games.
All the analysis. All the live look-ins.
MLB Tonight. Bringing you closer to the game. All the time. All the time. All the time.
All the time.
MLB Tonight, every night. Only on MLB Network.
real world, and now I'm living. And the good just gets better, keeps on giving. Not even close to the end, it's just beginning. Life is getting lighter while the days are getting brighter, yeah.
Some young fans enjoying tonight's action. They're just outside of the dugout for Korea. Always wave when you're on camera. Greg Rakestraw, Chris Walker with you on MTC Sports. Hoosier North to tomorrow night's semifinals. They will take on Aruba. Winner of this game gets Mexico. Scheduled for a 7:30 first start. Right now it appears the two teams from the area are both going to be there for tomorrow night's action.
Sure looks like it. Unless there's a big time change in this game, I expect both teams to be there.
So Shin, who has played both left and center in tonight's game, began this game with a ground ball to the second baseman in Bauer. Bauer made a tough play in the hole at second. And Levesque starts him out with a knee-high fastball.
Really, really nice play by Alex Bauer, top of the first inning.
Levesque's been
Bottom of the first, I'm sorry.
Levesque's been, in one sense, sitting for a while, but because the pitcher's actually hitting that, he was on the base pass. Doubled and scored last inning, did Levesque. It's his first hit of the night. He's 1 for 3. Off the end of the bat foul, 1-2 the count.
Said Dylan Levesque the last 2 years has just had a tremendous Colt World Series.
Korea lost their opener on Friday. They have battled their way back with wins each of the last 2 days. 2-2 the count. Pictures over Central Michigan and Greensboro to get to this point. That one a little bit high, 3-2.
Just a little bit high. Breaking ball, big looping breaking ball, crossed a little bit too high.
Finds the zone here, and Shin will foul it off.
Good battle here by Shin to stay alive.
Popped up. This should stay in play. Right fielder coming in. Second baseman drifting back. Bauer's got it. And there's one down. Pitchers from area high schools now on 10-plus innings of shutout baseball today.
It's impressive. That's some really impressive pitching by the lefties today. Eli Talcott in the first game. I'm sorry, the second game of the day. And Dylan Levesque in this final game of the night.
So Lee, the shortstop. Line drive to Tyson last time up. That has been the hardest hit ball of the night for South Korea. That was an eye-high, easy grab for Tyson at third base. Just below the knees, 2-0 the count.
2-0 count. Lee should get a good pitch to hit here. See if he takes another good rip at one.
Pitcher's pitch. It was right at the knees on the outside corner.
Great spot by Levesque. Great spot.
Levesque working quickly. This one sent towards right center field. Huffins gives chase. Huffins cannot get there. First base hit tonight. Huffins tracks it down, throws it towards second. There will not be a play. Stand up double for the first base run of the evening for South Korea.
Great piece of hitting by Hyun Lee. But I'm going to tell you what, Zach Huffins got to that ball extremely quick. At one point, I thought he was going to be able to cut that off and make that play close at second base. But I tell you what, that shows you what speed can do in this game. Because this ball, I mean, I'm thinking probably triple off the bat, but Zach gets over there in a hurry and is able to grab it behind him and then stop playing, make a throw. Good job.
Here's what's amazing. He overran the ball.
He
and was
did.
able almost to adjust and go track it down from behind.
No kidding.
Not many players in this tournament do that.
Wow.
Here is the third baseman in Jung.
Yeah, Huffins is what you would call a plus runner. I mean, that That's impressive.
I would go plus perhaps
Yes.
on his speed.
Yes.
For Jung, it was a ground ball to third base his last time up. Ground ball up the middle. Levesque couldn't snag it. Shortstop does. Diving effort. Throw. Got him.
Nice play. Nice play.
We have not seen a better defensive play in this tournament than that right there.
Really nice play by Tyler Powers.
And a guy that has authored so many defensive plays in Jung for South Korea had a base hit robbed. Diving effort by the shortstop.
Very nice play. Strong throw by Tyler Powers there.
It has been a complete effort for Lafayette tonight. Hong, the right fielder. That's in for a strike. Fly ball to right field. His last time up. Strike two.
Good pitch. Dylan's really mixing it up very well right now.
Comes back with a fastball, pops this up. This is over our location here.
Right over our heads.
This press box that we have will be kind of in its current spot at this time next year. After that, not sure. Yeah, that's when the construction project starts here at Loeb Stadium. High fastball gives chase, swing and a miss. And Korea will strand their first base run of the night at third. There's a first hit, but there's no runs. 7-0 lead for the Lafayette All-Stars. Power helps keep that 0 on the board for the home side. Back with more in a moment as you're watching the 2016 Colt World Series on MTC Sports.
I would like to think of myself as being a specialist in farm insurance because that's what I use as a farmer, is insurance. Crop insurance. I know the importance of carrying high limits of liability. Price is important. It's got to be affordable. It's got to be a main part of my operation and operating costs because I can't afford to have a loss without coverage.
Pony baseball began in the summer of 1951 with the organization of the original Pony League in Washington, Pennsylvania. The league was originally designed to help transition 13 and 14-year-old players from the Little League Diamond to the regulation-sized Diamond. Today, more than 500,000 players participate in the Pony organization annually in the United States and in more than 25 countries around the world. For more information on Pony baseball, go to pony.org. Don't miss Pony baseball for the world. Pure baseball, pure pony.
The 2016 Colt World Series at MTC Sports is brought to you by the following tremendous sponsors.
Folks, I'm just going to tell you, if you're ever in a press box with Mike Carmen and you tell him that you don't want a piece of his elephant ear, he thinks you really mean that. And so I look over, take a look over my left. There is nothing left on that plate but crumbs.
Thanks to our friends at Dick's Sporting Goods, Lafayette Community Bank, and Best Western. Not to mention our friends at Arnie's. Wintech, another tremendous sponsor of the Colt World Series. And Krabby Mike's Barbecue.
Take a look down there in the Lafayette bullpen. You see Kyle Pendleton throwing, Kobe McNeely standing up next to Chandler Ferguson and Clay Bowman. Coach Saylor's down there, and it looks like a young Jack Hudson sitting next to Clay Bowman there. It's good to see you got a Maverick, 2 Broncos, a Central Catholic kid. It's good to see that. The Colt World Series.
Son on for his second inning of work. Berenda, the catcher, was reached base both times, doubled back in the second, and struck out but reached via a wild pitch. And a run would score on that play in the third. Runs in each of the last 3 innings for the Lafayette All-Stars. Trying to earn a rematch with Mexico. Misses.
This is one of those at-bats right here, Greg, where Ben Berenda, left-handed hitting catcher this time, facing a right-handed sidewinder. So this pitcher's going to have some arm side run. Is going to tail away from Ben. He's got to really drive the ball hard to left field.
That misses low, 2-0. When Son has missed, he has not missed that far out of the zone.
Yeah, you're right. He has not had any big misses. He's just really trying to pepper that outside corner, and he is just missing the plate.
Miranda. Lazy pop-up, third baseman, shortstop converge, third baseman's got it, and there's one down.
See, that's what I'm talking about right there. Instead of really staying on that pitch and trying to drive it hard into left field, you kind of get lazy. The swing gets a little loopy. You get under it, hit a lazy fly ball to the third baseman for the out.
So Alex Bauer, 0 for 2 tonight. Ground ball to first and pop up to right. Made a late decision to swing at that one, 0-1 the count.
Yes, he did. Fooled him.
Bauer says his favorite team, the Indians, his favorite player, Jason Kipnis. 0-2.
If I'm not mistaken, Jason Kipnis is from close to where I'm from the southern the suburbs in Chicago.
Down the left field line, that'll get into the Lafayette bullpen.
He attended like Carl Sandburg or Andrew High School, maybe in the Tinley Park area. I thought.
Jason Kipnis attended Glenbrook North High School.
Okay, it's from Chicago area, but he's, I think, further up north.
That misses 1-2 the count.
Nice Bauer down the count, 1-2. He's fighting to stay alive.
Off the end of the bat, shortstop heading back.
That's trouble.
Won't be able to get it. Little flare by Bauer that finds the grass for a base hit, his first of the night.
Yeah, that's a really good job by Alex. He was fooled on the pitch, but he kept the bat through the zone long enough where he's able to fight it off and kind of guide it in, hit a fly ball in the left field just over the shortstop's head, get you on base.
So Jonathan LaGuire has reached base both times, singled and scored last time up. That was in the third inning. That's in for a strike.
Sometimes it's just not about being pretty, it's just about being effective. Good pitch. Oh.
1-1 the count.
Hey, what, Son's got some pretty good stuff. Wow.
2-1 the count.
Tell you what, those last two pitches were extremely close. Jonathan LaGuire's got a little better eye than I do because both of those look really good.
The coach is going to kind of bring everybody in here to huddle up a little bit.
I've noticed Coach from South Korea is not afraid to slow the game down, man. He just takes his time out there, get a nice little huddle at the mound.
Good chance to get everybody's attention.
Dylan Vex jamming to something out there.
And whatever rhythm he's in, leave him in it.
I agree.
He's allowed one hit through 4 innings.
That's right. Keep it going.
And the meeting at the mound about to be broken up by our home plate umpire.
Maybe.
So 2-1 the count.
2-1, 1 out, 1 runner on. It's a good time to get some movement going for Josh Loggins.
This is the 4th batter that Son has faced to this point. Line drive, center field, base hit.
Really good swing by Jonathan LaGuire there. Line drive back through the box.
Back-to-back base hits for Lafayette. That's just their 6th of the game. Again, they had runners reach because of walks, because of errors. A strikeout and a wild pitch. Now the bats seem to have been kind of getting going this third trip through the lineup.
That's right. Starting to see the ball pretty well. Taking some good swings. Really good swing by Jonathan McGuire there.
Siegel looking for his first base hit tonight. Again, nearly had an infield single back in the second and then had a shallow pop fly to center his last time up. This marks the end of the third trip through the lineup. Siegel fouls this one back. 1-1 the count. Jay says his favorite team, the Yankees, his favorite baseball player, Derek Jeter.
Wow.
2-1.
Is that high? Gotcha. Looked like a good pitch from here, but it was just a little high.
Popped up. Second baseman drifting back. Should be able to make this play. He will, and there's 2 down.
You know, Greg, this game just didn't have the same energy level that the game did last night. It's kind of a slow-paced game, and doesn't seem to be. That one last night was very well contested, exciting game.
I think this happens when you have so many errors early in the game.
Yes.
Even though they've been rather one-sided.
That's right.
Inside, ball 1. Powers last time up walked and would come around to score.
Well, it's about time for Tyler to drive a baseball here in the outfield somewhere. Made a really good play defensively in the last inning. See if he can get a good pitch he can hit and hit it hard somewhere.
Popped up.
Get out of play.
That'll reach the seats. Tyler lists his favorite player as Alex Bregman.
Nice.
Who just made his debut with the Houston Astros.
I do remember that correctly. Tyler did really, really like Alex Bregman.
Second pick of last year's MLB draft. Curveball, a beauty. Strike 2.
You know, Tyler followed him a lot in college, so that he's not just saying that to be funny, and it's he really followed him. And I know he tries to model his game a lot after Alex Bregman.
Just below the knees.
Wow.
2-2, and pitcher was walking towards the dugout.
Thing is, Tyler's not a very big guy. It's hard to get one just below his knees. I mean, that's a really good eye by Tyler Powers there.
Full count now, so runners will get a head start on the next delivery home.
Good time to hit.
And again, no fielders close to the runner at second base.
Nope.
Just a chance for Son to kind of collect his thoughts a bit more before delivering this ball home. Fouled back. We'll do it again. Interesting to see, though, a favorite player for one of these young men who has 5 career major league hits. Tyler says he wants to be a sports agent or a businessman when he is done with his playing days. This one misses high and inside, ball 4. Another chance for a big inning here for Lafayette, and it is Huffins who tripled in his last plate appearance.
Zach has an opportunity to drive in a few more runs here, cap his very nice day he's got going.
That's in for a strike.
Zach's had 3 plate appearances, scored 2 runs, walked, a triple, has a stolen base. See what he does here.
just missed. 1-1. Fourth trip through the lineup, and we're in the top of the fifth inning for Lafayette. Scored 7 and stranded 4 so far. Bases loaded for the first time tonight. Strike called, 2-2.
Good pitch, fastball on the outside corner there.
That might have been as straight of an offering as we have seen from Son so far.
It's a good call.
Everything is kind of tailed in or out. That was pretty much a dart thrown at the corner.
Yes, it was.
Huffins reaches out to stay alive, sends this one towards the third row of the seats. We touched on this momentarily ago, talking about renovations being planned. The plan is for after this event next year to begin a complete rebuild of Loeb Stadium.
It's going to be nice.
Swing and a miss. Huffins with the strikeout, and the inning comes to an end. So Lafayette will leave the bases loaded. To the bottom of the fifth we go. They lead 7-0 over South Korea. We're back in a moment on MTC Sports.
Since 1980, Phoenix Lawn and Garden has been family owned and operated. For over 30 years, the Thomases have provided reliable, quality brand name products and services to their customers. Let's face it, you don't make it this far in this industry with anything less. Generation after generation. From the initial sale through the life of the purchase, Phoenix is there every step of the way. Thomas's Phoenix Lawn and Garden, where we make tall grass short.
We chose Haley's for our video surveillance needs because we've had great luck with them on the lock, safe, and key side. And when we found out that they also do video surveillance, we right away knew that we could trust Rick and his team over there. I would definitely recommend Haley's Lock, Safe, and Key to any business owner. They take great care of you. They have good, fair prices, and service after the sale is tremendous.
For security solutions and unbeatable support after the sale, visit Haley's in Lafayette and Crawfordsville.
New pitcher on the mound for the Lafayette All-Stars. It is Kyle Pendleton. Levesque goes 4 innings, faces 13 batters, gives up 1 hit, strikes out 2.
Very good performance by Dylan Levesque. Attacked the strike zone. Not a lot of strikeouts, but he had 2 strikeouts. 1 looking, 1 swinging. Everything else pitched to contact. Did a great job today.
We saw Pendleton on Friday night in the victory against Michigan for Lafayette. Another young man from McCutcheon High School on this Lafayette All-Stars roster. He will face Quan, Shim, and Yuk. 5, 6, and 7 due up this time through for the Lafayette All-Stars. Quan, the first baseman. Fly ball to center field his last time up.
Kyle Pendleton is going to feature fastball. He's going to try to spot each side of the plate. Throws a pretty good curveball that you'll see, I'm sure, quite a bit of.
Starts off with a fastball that hits the inside corner.
There you go.
Lafayette going from lefty to righty out of the pen. They got another lefty throwing in the bullpen as well. That curveball line drive over the glove of the first baseman into right field for a base hit.
I think Bobby Deering mistimed his jump right there. I think he was on it. Just mistimed his jump a little bit. I think he got by. Good clean hit there in the right field.
So Jae-Young Shim now to the plate. Struck out looking to end the second. That's in for a strike. You are spotted a 7-run lead. That is a luxury you can afford.
Yeah.
First pitch fastballs.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, you're not going to see much action, I don't think, on the bases with a 7-run deficit here. So if you're Kyle Pendleton, you just attack the strike zone and let him hit it.
Strike 2.
Good pitch.
Wow. Went with the fastball, just missed off the corner.
Good pitcher's pitch.
Miranda had kind of set up outside, so we hit the target, but target was just off the zone.
It's good umpiring.
Comes back with the curveball that is rolled foul. And Mexico awaits the winner of this game tomorrow night at 7:30. First game tomorrow. There will only be 2 games tomorrow because after that we're down to 4 teams left in the tournament. 5 and 7:30 our start times tomorrow. 2-2.
2-2. You don't want to take this count any further if you're Kyle Pendleton. You want to really throw your best pitch here and see if you can get it out.
Now 3-2. Line drive, base hit left field. Runner will round first and head to third. Tag applied, safe at third base. Back-to-back base hits now for South Korea.
Runner's on first and third now. Good piece of hitting. Takes that fastball inside, drives it into left field. Runner going from first to third. I think he better hustle a little bit more than that and slide hard, as that play was much closer to third base than it needed to be. Wow, that was really close.
So Yook now at home plate.
I'm not sure what's going on.
Yook's asking for time just for the third base coach to run through the signals.
Gotcha.
He had a ground ball to the first baseman Deering last time up. You would think here that the play would be to go for the double play or simply out on the infield with a 7-run lead in the
That's right.
bottom of the 5th inning. Runner goes, and they will throw through, and they will tag the runner out at second base, and no advance to the runner at third. Well, that is the absolute last thing you need to do if you're South Korea.
Yeah, I don't like that play at all there, Greg.
Because again, I think Lafayette would gladly say, hey, we'll throw it through at second. We'll get the out. We'll give you the run. We're just going to get you off the base pass. And
that's right.
Runner at third base wasn't going anywhere. So 2-6, Berenda gets the assist. Runner at third, and again, a ground ball here would score the runner. But Lafayette will gladly take the out at this point.
Absolutely.
This one well hit, right center field. Huffins giving chase, right fielder over. That'll drop for a base hit. South Korea on the board. Huffins fires this towards second base. That's a double. It's the 3rd hit of the inning, and a run scores for South Korea.
Well, right now, Kyle seems to be really struggling there. Everything he throws up there, they're hitting pretty well. But I tell you what, it was fun watching that play, watching Huffins and LaGuire chase after that ball, because they can both really move.
So 4 hits in this game. 3 of them, the last 3 batters that have come to the plate.
Right. Got to be careful because these guys don't give up. They've showed that the entire tournament. Still a 6-run deficit, but let's don't think this game is over.
So here is Bach, the second baseman. He fouled out to Berenda in his previous plate appearance. And there is action in the bullpen for Lafayette. It's over for a strike.
Oh, good pitch.
Swing and a miss, 0-2.
Really good breaking ball by Kyle Pendleton right there. Hit Jung Bach way out in front.
New batter looks like on deck for South Korea. This one sent foul. Kim is in the on-deck circle for South Korea. This would be the spot that Han was in earlier in the game. Good block by Berenda. Count it 1-2.
Right now is when you want to make your pitch if you're Kyle Pendleton. Don't take this at bat any further. Good
Line
spot.
drive, right field. LaGuire won't be able to get it. Base hit. Runners at first and third. That's 4 consecutive batters with base hits now.
I tell you what, if you're Kyle Pendleton, you're probably not going to be too happy with that, but I'm telling you, that's just a great piece of hitting. Kyle made it through a really nice breaking ball, biting hard off the plate, and Jung Bak just fights it off into right field for a base hit. Really good piece of hitting. Actually, it was a fastball out there. That's just a really good piece of hitting.
So Kim now to the plate. How large does that out at second base loom now?
Absolutely.
So again, the infield will stay back for Lafayette. They're looking for outs here. First real scoring threat of the night for Korea.
Looks like Dong Min Kim comes in to pinch hit here, Greg. It's our first look at him tonight.
Toss back at first.
Left-handed slugger.
Tyson playing even with the bag at third for Lafayette. Everybody else, what would be considered double play depth? And hits the outside corner. Strike called. Shallow and left, kind of shading to pull on both center and right.
Really shallow and left.
Tails away low, 1-1. Signs being given down the third base line.
First and third, 1 out.
Line drive caught. They'll throw behind the runner at first, but can't get him there. Everything's been hit hard this inning.
It really has.
But there's 2 away. That's the second ball like that Tyson has snared tonight.
Yes, he did. Right to him. Doesn't have to move very much. Makes a catch. Tries to throw back behind the runner at first. Just wide. Runner back to the top of the order. Ji-Ho Shin.
Shin has a ground ball to second and a pop-up to second tonight. Good looking move over to first base.
That really was. Quick feet, strong throw over there by Kyle Pendleton.
By the way, Pendleton's spot in the lineup would be up first next inning.
Good pitch.
He came in for Levesque. The number 3 position is up next. Strike called to Shin.
Good
Strike
pitch.
2, they'll throw through. Tag applied, and they got him.
Oh.
Outs 1 and 3 of the inning happen at second base. So make sure the tag is applied before the runner would cross home plate. Great tag applied, and he is out. So 1 run for South Korea. It's a 7-1 lead for Lafayette going to the top of the 6th on MTC Sports.
Construction projects mean deadlines. At McAllister Machinery and the Cat Rental Store, we understand the challenges our customers face. That's why our team of professionals are here to help. From our knowledgeable support staff to our industry-leading service department, McAllister Machinery and the Cat Rental Store are here to make sure you get the right equipment delivered on time. Whether it's Cat equipment, JLG lifts, or Solaire air compressors, we carry it all. McAllister Machinery and the Cat Rental Store, helping build Indiana since 1945.
Wouldn't it be sweet to happily live a life that's filled with glee and sing about how joyful it can be?
I'd like to hear that.
Live life to its fullest every day with the highest level of primary care from Indiana University Health.
When you have your health, you have everything.
Indiana University Health. Schedule same-day primary care appointments at 1-888-IU-HELP.
New pitcher for South Korea. We saw him at the plate. It was Dong-Min Kim. He'll become the 4th pitcher of this game for South Korea. It appears he is going to face a new batter for Lafayette. In fact, they've got a couple of pinch hitters. It appears that they are getting lined up to make an appearance in this game. First one is going to be Jack Hudson. You also see that Parker Lamb has got a helmet on and is getting loose for the Lafayette All-Stars.
Comments about it last night. Jack Hudson can really run. Really like to see him put one in the gap. Let's see him run the bases.
So Levesque, Deering, and Tyson are the 3 hitters due up this time through for Lafayette. It appears that Hudson is going to be the first batter up, hitting in what was the spot that Levesque had in the lineup, but then became the pitcher's position. There could be a trio of pinch hitters this inning, it appears, for Lafayette.
It also looks like Dong-Min Kim is going to be our pitcher now for the Korean team.
Hudson, a young man that plays for Central Catholic. Will be a junior next year. Says he's a Reds fan and a Brandon Phillips fan. Good man, Jack. Good man. He's a member of the football state championship team at Central Catholic this past year, where they beat Linton Stockton in the championship game. So lefty versus lefty here. High and in tight, ball 1. When asked about attending college, Jack says he hopes to make it to East Carolina University. Out of Greenville, North Carolina.
For the Pirates, I believe.
That is correct. Good college baseball program at ECU.
Yes, I remember that. We almost had a brawl with them in college.
A lot of fighting spirit the Pirates had, apparently. This one raked into right field. That'll be a base hit.
Oh, good job of right fielder for staying on that ball. Landon took a crazy spin, crazy bounce, but the right fielder was able to stay on it.
So Parker Lamb now will follow Hudson to the plate.
Great job of the right fielder. Good swing by Jack Hudson as well.
Lamb, a young man that attends McCutcheon High School. When asked about his collegiate plans, says he wants to stay home and attend Purdue.
Wants to be a Boilermaker.
When asked about his favorite players in other sports or sports other than baseball, his response was Paul George. We'll be happy to know that Paul scored double figures tonight as Team USA beat Venezuela 113-69 in the Olympics.
Man, you don't miss a beat. How'd you know that already? Doing your research?
That's what Twitter's for. Count it 2-1. Parker, a part of that Pony World Series runner-up team in 2013.
Yes, he was, and then he decided to grow like 6 inches.
Fouled straight back, 2-2.
Didn't even recognize him the last year or so.
Here's the Kobe McNeely is the batter that's on deck for Lafayette. They get everybody some extra swings here tonight. Strike 3 called on the curveball.
Good pitch. Really good pitch by Kim.
Fifth strikeout for a Korean pitcher tonight. And there's one down. So McNeely to the plate. Want to know the count?
Kobe takes a ball up and away for ball 1.
He too a young man that attends McCutcheon High School. His favorite team, the Cubs. Favorite player, Addison Russell. 1-1 the count. And in non-surprising news, asked about other favorite players in other sports, his response was Kobe Bryant.
Yep, his namesake. Kobe, as I said with Parker Lamb, Kobe was another guy that decided to grow like 6 inches overnight. I was shocked when I saw Kobe McNeely for the first time in a long time this year. I mean, he had really grown. I've coached Kobe forever, and he's always been a really little guy. And all of a sudden, you knew it was going to happen eventually because his dad's a tall guy. And all of a sudden, he shot up.
Count now 3-1. Couple of pitchers sauntering about in the bullpen for Korea. Reminds me of NFL parlance for off-season workouts. That was some organized team activities taking place down in the bullpen.
OTAs.
That foul ball will scatter him a little bit down there. 3-2.
It's interesting. I saw the Korean pitchers warming up down there, and his first few throws were from like 15 feet with a catcher. So he was throwing to a catcher who's in a down position.
This one sent foul. Kind of like for basketball, you work out, you start with your form, just putting the ball right above the rim, then you move back a few feet, you move back a few feet.
That's right.
I never could do it, but that's what I was told you would do.
Maybe you saw Perel Lucas do it a time or two.
He was all long distance, buddy. 3-2 the count. And ball 4. So 2 runners aboard. And there'll be no pinch hitting in the catcher's spot, so Berenda will come to the plate. Austin Dunwoody is behind him on deck, so Coach Logan's going to give everybody, it looks like, on the bench a bit of an at-bat here. You can then re-enter a lot of those players in the field if you choose to.
Greg, I'm not even sure who Lafayette's second catcher would be.
Which tells me why he's not being pinch hit for here.
Right.
And this one into right center field, that'll get down for a base hit. They'll give the one of the wave around from third. 1 run will score. Going from first to third is McNeely. Berenda with an RBI. Scoring on the play is Hudson.
He's motoring. Good swing there by Ben and Berenda. Drives the ball to right center field for an RBI single. Now puts runners on first and third. Good swing.
So this is Austin Dunwoody. This is where I rely on you as the man with Lafayette knowledge. His dad was the longtime basketball coach at Central Catholic, correct?
That is correct. His dad is Chad Dunwoody. Uncle is Todd Dunwoody, the former player at Harrison.
Who then played in Major League Baseball.
You got it.
This one sent foul. Todd had some time with the Marlins, the Royals, amongst a couple of teams that he played for.
Cubs as well. Yep. Yes, he did. Left-handed throwing and hitting outfielder.
Austin hits this on a rope, third baseman. Going to try to make the play at home. Catcher blocks it. McNeely, if he sprints back to third, he can make it. Now he's going to cut in a pickle. They throw down. Tag will be applied. And he's out. So runners at first and second and 2 down.
Tell you what, Austin Dunwoody smoked that ball, but as we've seen, the third baseman made a really good play.
And there's really nothing that McNeely can do there.
There's not.
But when the catcher kind of bobbles, if he sprints back to third, he'd be safe.
5-2-5-1 put out.
So Riley Eberhardt now. Young man from Lafayette, Jeff. So Eberhardt, this is in LaGuire's spot in the lineup. So he becomes the 5th different pitch hitter to come to the plate this inning, and the trend will continue if Eberhardt can keep the inning going.
I think this is Riley's first at-bat of the tournament here. Riley was Lafayette's first game starting pitcher. Teammate of my son here in high school. Was our number 3 pitcher this year. Had a really good sophomore campaign. Looking for some big things out of Riley next year.
That is called a strike. 2-2 the count. Riley says his favorite team, the Minnesota Twins. I think that's the first one of those I've seen so far. Favorite players, Joe Mauer and Clayton Kershaw. Full count now, so the runners will get a head start on this pitch home.
Joe Mauer could really swing it, man. That was the model for a left-handed hitting catcher for quite some time.
Riley threw a no-hitter in a high school varsity game this year.
Sure did.
And ball 4. So the base is loaded now. That is the second walk issued this inning. Jacob Marin will come to the plate.
Oh, my scorecard is getting all messed up.
So the 6th different pinch hitter to come to the plate for the All-Stars this inning. These rosters go 18 deep, and everybody's seeing the field at this point for Lafayette. The joys of having a 7-run lead.
Ooh.
That one both just missed the zone and just missed Marin. 1-0.
Sure did. Jacob Marin is right on top of that plate. He's right on that inside line on a left-handed batter's box, so there's not much room for error for you as a pitcher to miss inside to him.
Liner, center field, but caught. So we go to the bottom of the 6th. 1 run for Lafayette, their lead back to 7. You're watching the 2016 Colt World Series at MTC Sports. Look inside the dugout. A lot of the young men that had a chance to pinch hit in the last inning are going to get a look in the field here as well for Lafayette, with the All-Stars leading it by a score of 8-1. First of all, Jack Hudson, who scored the run in the inning for Lafayette. Lefty will come on to pitch. Staying into play first base is Parker Lamb. Staying into play third base is Kobe McNeely.
Looks like Cole Bridge is at shortstop.
Here's a look at Lamb at first base. New second baseman as well. That will be Austin Dunwoody. Maybe we'd be better off telling you who's staying in the game. Huffins will stay in the game at center. Berenda is staying in the game at the catcher, and you and I were talking about this. It appears that he's the only catcher on the roster.
That's right. Looks like Eberhardt, I can tell by the way he throws, is in right field.
So you would think maybe a new left fielder.
Let's see.
Siegel.
It's a lefty. Is it Jacob Marin? Does he play outfield? I'm not sure.
He might be now. So new players throughout the diamond for Lafayette. 7-run lead here in the bottom of the 6th inning in this elimination game. Yeah, Marin is the left fielder, number 25. So new players at 7 positions for Lafayette. It's the leadoff man in Shin. And if you're Hudson, you just got to tell them, hey, all right, calm down a bit.
Calm down, attack the strike zone.
So far, 3 balls being offered by Hudson. Four in a row. An inauspicious debut for the lefty.
Yeah, don't like to see that.
That is the first walk given up by a Lafayette player tonight.
Wow.
So Lee, who doubled to get the first hit of this game off of the starting pitcher in Levesque. They only hit a hill out in 4 innings.
Pickoff attempt, just about threw it wide there.
Want to know the count?
That one was right down the middle of the plate. It's still a little bit high.
So all the players listed on the lineup card now for Coach Loggins have played. They listed 17 on the lineup card tonight. Pendleton entered in the 5th. Everyone else enters in the 6th. Liner, right center. Huffins, diving effort, can't get it. This one gets past him. This one will get to the wall. This will at least be 2. It'll likely be 3. 1 run will score. It's a triple, and it's 8-2. Back-to-back extra base hits by Lee, and this one plates the leadoff man in Shin to score.
In that situation, I don't mind that attempt
No.
by Zach Huffins at all. You have a 8-1 lead at the time. You go all out, you make a diving effort. That's okay.
Ball momentarily gets away from the catcher in Berenda, but no advance by the runner. The third baseman in Young that had a ground ball to shortstop and a ground ball to third so far tonight.
I like Ben Berenda going out right now to talk to Jack Hudson. Just settle everything down, reset the batteries here, start over, attack the strike zone, let's get out.
Well, these are 2 kids that are high school teammates.
That's
So
right.
he knows he can go, all right, I see you on a regular basis. Let's fix this now.
Exactly.
Strike
pitch.
called.
There you go.
So Korea with 1 run in each of the 5th and 6th innings. But everything for Hudson has been missing high.
Yes, he has. So his delivery kind of starts high and then he drops that elbow a little bit and will leave everything high. That's a better pitch there.
Huffins should be able to catch this one. A run's going to score. Huffins will wing that ball back to second base, but no play. Out, but a run in. It's now 8-3.
Good piece of hitting there by Zhang for the sacrifice fly.
This is Wong's spot in the lineup. Right fielder, he's 0 for 2 tonight. That's in for a strike. Wong a strikeout victim last time up. Chased one at his eyes to end the 4th. 1-1.
Oh, Jack's working really fast.
And the Korean batters are trained well enough to say, nope, we'll just step out of the box and slow you down.
Absolutely. Hong is 0 for 2 on the day. Fly out to right field and strike out.
Pop this one straight up.
Flying this one right back to us. If we didn't have a rooftop on our heads, we may have a ball sitting in our lap right now because that one was right at us.
If we didn't have a rooftop, I probably wouldn't be here, to be honest with you.
You couldn't stand the heat? Is that what you're telling me?
I could. Just wouldn't want to. Strike 3 call. No doubt about that one.
Good pitch.
I think Dong was surprised that, frankly, an 0-2 pitch caught that much of the strike zone. Second time he's been retired as a strikeout victim. 2 down. No, I'm a big fan of the air conditioning we have here in the press box, Chris. I'm not going to lie to you.
I'm right with you.
Quan at the plate. He singled and scored last inning. One of 4 straight hitters to get a base hit off of then relief pitcher Kyle Pendleton.
Good spot by Jack Hudson there. Even in the count 1-1.
There's been one consistent factor for these Lafayette pitchers. They have worked as if they are renting the pitcher's mound this evening. 1-2. Ground ball, fair ball. Third baseman fires, throws a little bit high, but the tag will be applied and the inning is over. So good work by Hudson. Allowed the first 2 batters to reach base, then retires the next 3. It's 8-3 going to the top of the 7th on MTC Sports.
Hi, my name is Mike Witteving, president of Tecton Construction Management. We build quality commercial buildings using our trademarked integrated project delivery system called filtering. Essentially what filtering does is it reduces waste during the design, bidding, and construction phase of the project, which saves money. We scrutinize construction details and our hired contractors, which improves quality, and we manage risk in a way to reduce exposure to our owners during the project. Let us be your first call to help you quantify your vision within your budget. I hope to talk to you soon.
Back at Loeb Stadium, Greg Rakestraw, Chris Walker with you on MTC Sports. We will have a new pitcher. 5th pitcher for South Korea. Junwon Park will enter this game to pitch. Kim, the last pitcher, went an inning. Gave up 1 run. But also got out of a bases loaded jam to end the inning. As this one has gone the distance. By the way, attendance tonight, over 1,800 people were here to watch this game tonight. And if the Lafayette All-Stars can hang on to this one, my guess is that number will grow even more tomorrow night with both Hoosier North and the All-Stars making these semifinals.
Well, that will be interesting to see, Greg, especially with LSC, the Lafayette School Corporation, starting school back tomorrow. So you wonder how many people decide to stay home tonight to get that first good night's sleep before school, but you never know.
You're saying people are watching this broadcast more so right now because they're at home.
I am. I know there's some people in the Walker family that are at home watching it right now.
And offering you critiques via text messages.
They sure are.
So a lefty on the mound for South Korea. It is Power's spot in the lineup. And again, we did not see him as a hitter last time through.
Did not. Looks like Cole Bridge is going to step in and hit for him.
Now, Bridge was a defensive replacement for him last inning, so that makes sense. So Bridge, Huffins, and then it'll be Hudson's spot in the batting lineup. Due up next for the Lafayette All-Star. Tomorrow at 5 o'clock, we'll have Hoosier North versus Aruba. Winner of this game takes on Mexico tomorrow night. Both these teams are already a loss to Mexico in their proceedings here in the tournament.
Hoosier North Aruba matchup again. Hoosier North with a chance to redeem themselves from that beatdown that Aruba gave them the other day.
There's been no happy medium for Hoosier. They have looked really good in 3 wins.
That's right.
And then they struggled against Aruba on Saturday.
Yes, they did.
The first at bat for Bridge tonight.
I'll tell you what, if you're Hoosier North, you have to really build off of that terrific pitching performance that Eli Talcott put together today.
Back-to-back complete games, so they should have a rested pitching staff.
That's right.
Davidson yesterday, Talcott today.
Yeah, don't want to take anything away from Drew Davidson. He was really effective as well. But man, Eli Talcott, that was to play a 7-inning game in 1 hour and 14 minutes. Had me really nervous about getting my national anthem singer here to the game on time.
Ground ball.
It's a base hit.
And that'll find the hole.
Got a boy Cole.
So leadoff single for Bridge, the sophomore at Lafayette Jeff. Huffins at the plate.
Zach and Ben Berenda, the only 2 original starters in the game. I think so.
Huffins has 2 runs scored, a triple tonight. Gave him an RBI as well. Sends this one towards center field. Center fielder drifting back. He'll make the catch, and there's 1 away. So 2 for 5 tonight for Huffins. So again, you're going through now where the pinch hitters came through last inning. This is the pitcher in Hudson. And I would think you would probably likely see him throw the 7th inning as well.
Don't waste another arm if you don't have to.
So Hudson singled and scored last time up. So if you brought a uniform to the park, you played this evening for Lafayette.
It's going to be a good feeling for Coach Loggins. You're getting some guys in there that otherwise wouldn't have a chance to play because from here on out, you may not have these opportunities. Good pitch.
Just misses inside 1-1 the count.
He buckled Jack Hudson, but according to Blue, it was a little bit too far inside.
Hudson says his favorite subjects in school, speech and communications.
So that means he talks a lot?
That's usually what it works. That's what I said when I was his age. Late decision by the runner to advance, but he'll make it.
Yes, it
as that ball got up the line on the catcher in Quan. Runner in scoring position now with 1 out.
That's something we'll have to work on with Cole before the next high school season. Get a better jump. You see he stood straight up in the secondary. You got to stay low, get your good shuffles, and really read down angle out of the pitcher's hands. If you're waiting to see that ball get by the catcher, you're already too late. So you're taking your shuffles low, and as you read down angle out of the pitcher's hands, you're off and running.
Charge into this one to center field. Center fielder backing up, seems to have a bead on it. Runner will tag from second base. Throw from the shortstop at third. Not in time, it gets away, but it stays in front of the dugout and staying right there at third will be Cole Bridge, 2 down.
Good play by center fielder, goes back, catches the fly ball, makes a strong throw to his cutoff man, the shortstop, who makes another throw to third base, and the throw gets away, but pretty good play all around there.
This is Lamb's spot in the lineup.
Good exchange by the shortstop. I think that ball was just missed by the third baseman there.
Yeah.
There was nothing wrong with that throw.
So Lamb, who struck out looking in his previous plate appearance. Want to know the count.
What did you say Parker Lamb's favorite team and players were?
Checking right now. Perhaps it was the Twins.
Oh, that's to Joe Mauer, right?
Blocked by the catcher, 2-0 the count. Well, that was Riley Eberhardt. My apologies. Okay. I did not say who Parker's favorite team was. His favorite team's the Phillies.
Ooh.
He's a big Chase Utley guy.
Aha, Chase Utley. Got a good story about Chase Utley. My roommate after our sophomore year at Purdue, Daryl Halata, who's one of the all-time great hitters at Purdue, played in the Cape Cod League. And he'd call me. I was playing in the North Woods League for the Wausau Woodchucks at the time. And Daryl would give me a call. He's like, man, I have this kid from UCLA. He's a left-handed hitter. He is so skinny. He says, I don't know. He's just hitting bomb after bomb. I don't understand how he's doing it. He weighs like 150 pounds. Come to find out, it's Chase Utley.
3-0, taken all the way was Lamb. 3-1 the count. Looking ahead for Korea. Spot 6, 7, 8. Shim, Yuk, and Bak. The three hitters due up for Korea. Went chasing that time to Lamb, 3-2.
Took something off of that. Good pitch. And Parker out in front.
And this Lafayette team made the final day 2 years ago. Trying to get to the semifinals first.
Yes, sir.
And a walk.
All four.
And that's been a common problem that has plagued the Korean pitching tonight.
You know, they just picked the bad time to have their worst game of the tournament. You know, it just, pace has really slowed down. They haven't been nearly as sharp defensively as they have been with 3 errors on the board right now. Walks, just a lot more sloppy than we've seen them play all tournament.
So McNeely now at third base. Walked. Caught in the rundown between third and home. Third baseman backs up. Lasers this one and overthrows his man. There's a run will score for Lafayette. Advancing to third on the play will be Lamb. Scoring is Bridge to make it 9-3. Well, another trend continues for South Korea. Again, just errors they haven't made the entire tournament.
That's right. As I was just saying, makes a nice play, strong throw, just airmailed a little bit.
And if he makes his routine throw, that's an out.
It is. It really is.
So Ben Berenda had an RBI last time up. And a run-producing scenario yet again. 1-0 the count. He gets 5 plate appearances this evening, does the catcher. Runner goes to second.
Kind of a defensive indifference there.
Berenda has reached base 3 times tonight.
I wonder if they had defensive indifference in Ricky Henderson's day when he was stealing all those bases.
The one person who wasn't indifferent about it was Ricky. He'd tell you about it every time. Ricky being Ricky.
Is that a lot like Manny being Manny?
That was the precursor.
That's right.
3-1 the count. 130 stolen bases in 1982.
Wow, what? Where did you get that one? How do you, is that just on the top of your head?
I'm gonna make sure I'm giving you the right information.
Wow. Oh, another pitching change, I think.
So base is now loaded as Berenda draws a walk. Baseball Almanac tells me that in 2002, only the Marlins, Royals, and Mariners had that many stolen bases as a team, as Ricky had 20 years previously. And there will be a pitching change coming in here for Korea. Yoon-Ki Lee going to come in trying to get the final out of the game for Korea. We'll take this quick timeout. More baseball comes your way next on the Colt World Series at MTC Sports.
As he does, Jalen Attaway comes flying in with the monster dunk. Get up, young fella. Down close to the first down. And it's caught. And he's going to take it down.
Hey, Jennifer Fuzzmike, Trooper Money Slang. Aw, scram.
I'm Chris Mike Juppy Robon, shall to lead up in Kisbet.
Peace charity get town down. Toothpaste dummy way.
Brona Brood.
What?
With the top 100 shows preloaded, Xfinity is perfect for people who want to join the conversation. Catch up on the shows everyone is talking about. Get started with the Xfinity X1 Triple Play from Comcast for $99 a month for a whole year. Call 1-800-XFINITY or visit Comcast.com today.
Most of the time, commercials require a fancy voiceover to sell their product. But here at Pepe's Mexican Restaurant, we believe in letting these images speak for themselves. But I just can't help myself. Tantalizing. Delicious. I can almost taste it. Pepe's Mexican Restaurant, Sagamore Parkway, Lafayette.
Yoon Ki Lee becomes the 6th pitcher of the game for Korea. 9-3 the lead for the Lafayette All-Stars here in the top of the 7th. You asked about Ricky Henderson. 130 stolen bases in 1982. Had 100 in 1980. Had 108 in 1983. Wow. But how about this? He had 66 stolen bases for the Oakland A's in 1998 when he was 39 years old.
Man.
I barely have 66 trips to the mailbox, and I'm 39 years old.
Boy, how has the game changed, though?
Well, for example, Billy Hamilton thought to be the fastest player currently in Major League Baseball.
Right.
He swiped his 44th base of the year tonight.
I think part of it for Billy Hamilton, he just doesn't get on base enough. Is that
there is
accurate?
that. There is that. Billy had a ridiculous number of stolen bases when he was at Pensacola.
Yes.
In single A ball, the Blue Wahoos in the Reds organization, when he had 148 stolen bases.
In how many games?
In high A.
So that's like 130 games. Is that even 130 games?
144 game schedule. Wow. Not sure how many of those he actually played in.
Yeah, good call.
Broke Vince Coleman's minor league baseball record. I had the pleasure of watching Vince play in '84 with the Louisville Redbirds on his way up to St. Louis the next year, where he stole over 100 bases.
Right. If I remember, Vince Coleman was what? Vince Coleman, Tommy Herr, Willie McGee, all those guys. Mm-hmm. RBI baseball, taking me back to my video game days. Jack Clark, I think, hitting in the 4 or 5 hole on that team.
Correct. So if Coleman would lead off, it would be McGee's job to let Vince steal a base, then move him over, or Tommy Herr would have that job, one of the two. With the idea of Tommy Herr would hit an RBI ground out to second base, and right. Coleman would score, they'd be up 1-0.
That's right. The ever handsome Willie McGee.
Good looking man on the radio. Dunwoody at the plate. That ball tails low and away. 3-0 the count. Had a chance to watch all those guys coming through. St. Louis moved their AAA team from Springfield, Illinois to Louisville in the summer of 1982. So I had a chance to watch all those guys on the way up. Ball 4. That's a bases loaded walk, and it's now 10-3 in favor of Lafayette. That's an RBI for Dunwoody.
Greg, where did they play in Louisville? That wouldn't be where the Louisville Bats play.
That would be the old Cardinal Stadium.
Oh, good Lord. I played there. Man, that place was not fun to play.
Which was a painted parking lot, basically. Yeah. That's how hard the AstroTurf was.
You can say that again, man.
About 340 on the left field line, 380 to left center.
Yes, it was.
400 to center field. And then that's where the football bleachers kicked in. So it was like 340 to right and 310 down the right field line. And eventually they built up a blue monster down the right field line, trying to make it a harder place to hit a home run if you're a power hitter that's left-handed.
I played there in one of the coldest baseball games of my life. That wind would come blowing into that stadium.
There's nothing to block it.
Oh, my goodness.
Because it was open to the west.
I'll never get Schreiber. We had those gas kind of heaters in the dugout. and a couple of us were getting so close that we burned holes in our batting gloves, and Shrives got so mad at us for hovering around the heaters, he turned them off, and we never had heaters in the dugout again.
2-0 the count. That's in for strike two. And I assume you played at the University of Louisville there?
We did. I used to love playing Louisville back in the day at that painted parking lot because me as a ground ball hitter just hit it down and run forever.
2-1. Off the hands, foul, 2-2. So at that time, Willie McGee was there for about 2 weeks in '82, and then he moved on to St. Louis quickly.
Gotcha.
He was on their World Series champs in '82. The next year, Vince Coleman, Terry Pendleton, Jose Gonzalez, who became Jose Reyes,
Okay.
all kind of ended up playing. Or not Reyes, Uribe. That's in for a strike, and that is out number 3 in the inning. I'll finish that story when we come back in the bottom of the 7th. Lafayette tacks on 2. 10-3 the score. Go to the home half of the 7th inning. Final at bats for South Korea in this tournament when we come back on MTC Sports.
MLB Network brings you closer all season long.
That ball is gone.
With 5 games every week.
Are you kidding me?
And 200 games this season.
Unbelievable.
With MLB Tonight's live coverage every night.
That is so true.
And more highlights.
His 3,000th hit.
Analysis.
A fastball that cuts.
And live look-ins all night long.
Number 500.
Get closer to the game on MLB Network.
Are you 62 years or older? Are you disabled? If you answered yes to either of those questions and you were looking for a new place to call home, then look no further than Friendship Gardens Apartments in Mulberry, located in a nice peaceful setting just minutes from Lafayette or Frankfort. Our apartments are HUD approved and the rent is based upon your income. This 30-unit apartment complex was designed with the needs of the active senior and disabled adults in mind. At Friendship Gardens, you enjoy a sense of belonging that extends throughout the entire community.
How can the Farmers Bank mobile app help you? You can transfer funds, check your account balances, make Farmers Bank loan payments, pay bills, check your account history, or locate our branches and ATMs, all from the convenient safety of your own smartphone. Our app features all these benefits, plus all the safety and security that you have grown to expect from the Farmers Bank. The Farmers Bank, your local bank, your mobile bank, your bank for life. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome back, 10-3 the score. Lafayette has been in control of this one really since, you could say, the 3rd inning. They blew it wide open in the 4th. Took it from a 3-0 game to a 7-0 game. And the young men have been kind of the second string in this tournament for the All-Stars. Have had a chance to come in and finish this game, and they have done so rather well as Hudson throws a first pitch fastball to Jae Young Shim.
Yes, they have.
Well, we kind of got lost in story time, top of the 7th. We'll bring it back to this game in this tournament here in the bottom half of the 7th. For Korea, again, barring a remarkable comeback, it appears their tournament's about to end. But again, in my time calling these games, this is now the 5th year that I've done this for MTC Sports, this Korean team has been the best team from that region that we have seen.
Without question. And I know this game is not a good representation of what we're saying, folks, but trust me, I've seen these guys play 2 or 3 times, and they have looked really good.
Off the end of the bat, right fielder giving chase. That one is in for a fair ball base hit. CNI single for Korea. And the leadoff man aboard. And for Shim, that is his 2nd consecutive base hit.
Just sticks the bat out there. Nice little bat flip there. I like that. Ball lands right inside the first base line. Riley Eberhardt bare hands it, gets it back in this cutoff man to hold him at first base.
So Yoku has played both as a pitcher and as an outfielder tonight. Doubled his last time up. That scored a run.
Good pitch.
That's in for a strike, 1-1 the count. We documented this as part of coverage yesterday. Currently 8 South Korean players in Major League Baseball. And 4 of them are making their debuts this year. There's kind of this next wave of Korean players now in MLB. And there's a young man from this area that is currently pitching in Korea. That's being Josh Lindblom in his 2nd season in the KBO. 2-2 the count.
And if I'm not mistaken, Lafayette assistant coach Jeff Seipel, Josh Lindblom would be his son-in-law because Josh married Coach Seipel's daughter.
The count runs full at 3-2.
I think Josh left Harrison, went to the University of Tennessee in Knoxville for a year, and then found his way back home to the Boilermakers.
And that's a walk. So the first 2 runners aboard like they were on Hudson last inning. A couple more guys into reach before you start getting nervous if you're a Lafayette fan.
That's right.
Here is Bach, the second baseman. Singled last time up, fouled out before that. One and 0 the count.
Jack needs to throw a ground ball here. Good pitch.
His issue has been missing high when he's been missing, but he's been finding more of the zone, has been working quickly the entire time.
Yes, he has. He gets it and throws it.
That's in for strike number 2. Now unbuckle the knees of the batter. Pitcher and Yoon-Kee Lee, by the way, is on deck. He has not had a plate appearance tonight.
Jack's got a lot of Mark Burley in him, as we said. And of course, you went to your Reds days. It said Tom Browning. And I agree. He really works at a really quick pace.
I'm not sure there's ever been a pitcher that worked quicker than Burley, though.
Oh, man,
he had things to do and places to be.
Yes, he did.
Good job by Berenda to block that one. 2-2 the count.
Very nice job by Ben Berenda. Something he didn't do all that great last night. Really worked at it here, and that made a nice play right there.
Up the middle, ground ball. He'll throw it to second one, over to first, not in time. And that's where, as a second baseman, you got to let the shortstop make that play.
Just thinking that, Greg, on that play, first of all, it's got to be communicated beforehand. But a ball back to the pitcher, you work on that all the time, PFPs. That's got to go to the shortstop, from the pitcher to the shortstop to the first baseman. It's too hard for the second baseman to come across that way and make that play.
Runners on the corners and 1 out. So Yoon-Kee Lee. We've seen him pitch in a couple of games now for South Korea. Swing and a miss. It's the number 9 spot in the order. Shin, the leadoff man, due up next. Strike 2. Asked his favorite team. He said Boston. Asked his favorite player. He said oh. Ground ball. Third baseman. Fires over to first. Gets him by a step. And there's 2 down.
Nice play by Cole McNeely there.
I would assume he's referencing the current closer for the St. Louis Cardinals, not the Sadahara O variety.
Gotcha.
So Jae-Ho Shin represents the potential final out of this tournament for South Korea. Runners at second and third, but 2 down here in the bottom of the 7th. That's in for a strike. And what an experience for these young men. Literally flying half a world away. This one sprayed foul, 1-2.
I wonder what their flight plan is like.
Long. I would assume you fly to LA and then go LA to. I would assume it from LA direct to Seoul, to be honest with you. And that one hits the batter. No, not the way you want to keep the game going if you're South Korea.
No, it's not.
And that's also what you don't want to be your last memory of this tournament to be. So the base is now loaded. And Hudson kind of wincing out there with him. Right in the hip. And they're going to just say, hey, let's get a pinch runner out here. I think the only player that hasn't played tonight is Lee, who will head out there now. Ojian Lee. A chance to run in this one. Yu Min Lee now will come to the plate. He tripled his last time up, has extra base hits in each of his last 2 plate appearances.
Well, we have a break in the action. I'm looking at Mike Carmen trying to make his deadline over there, trying to get his story written.
This is the internet age, my friend. They are always on deadline.
Bases loaded, 2 outs. 10-3 ball game.
Lee has hit the ball hard every time tonight. Sends us into center field. Huffman's drifting back, makes the catch. The ballpark holds that one, and this one is coming to an end. The Lafayette All-Stars join their compatriots from Hoosier North in the semifinals of the Colt World Series. We'll be back to wrap it up next as you're watching the 2016 Colt World Series on MTC Sports. Welcome back for a final time this evening on MTC Sports. Get alongside Chris Walker, Greg Rakestraw with you. 10-3, the final score in this one. Chris, your final thoughts?
Really good game by Lafayette. Jumped out early. Played fairly well today. Good defensive game. Really well pitched game by Dylan Levesque. Again, we said it earlier. We just wasn't the same South Korea team that we'd seen all tournament. So those guys did play well this tournament. Really great improvements, and looking forward to seeing them again.
All right, rematches, which are often common once you get to this day of the tournament. You're down to 4 teams left. Quick take on Hoosier North and Aruba.
It's going to be a tough one for Hoosier North. I just don't know if they have the arms to quiet those bats down from Aruba.
We'll get you a thought on Lafayette and Mexico, but first, down to the field we go with some post-game interviews. Here's Sam Rumsup.
We're down here with Coach Josh Loggins, as well as our player of the game, Dylan Levesque. And, Coach, what do you see from your team tonight that you liked, and what do you see that you can improve on for tomorrow?
I think what I saw the most is they came out hungry, ready to play, and they stayed focused on what we needed to do to get a win. As far as tomorrow, I liked our approach tonight, so I think if we come with the same at-bats that we had last night and the same defensive effort that we had, I think we'll be all right.
How have you liked your new strategy of going with more pitchers, getting more depth in the pitching mound? How do you think that strategy has worked out for you so far?
It's helped us. I mean, going into the night, the idea was to get through 3 with Dylan and then be able to save him. But I might be the meanest coach in the history of the Colt World Series if I take him out with a perfect game going. And I jinxed him by telling him that. But he threw a great game, and it's what we need. We need a lot of pitching in situations like this.
All right, Coach. Good luck tomorrow. Now we turn over to our player of the game, Dylan Levesque. Had a perfect game through 3. Also did it at the plate. How has your past experience in this tournament helped you this year?
It helps a lot. You already know what to expect coming in. Just atmosphere and everything. It can really make you really nervous. So it's good to just have in the back of your pocket, know what to expect.
Now, what do you have to do to beat Mexico tomorrow, a team that already beat you once?
Well, killed us last time. We just got to be clean on defense. Just make the plays when we need them and keep getting hits.
All right, thanks. Good luck. All right, guys, back to you.
Sam, thank you very much. We'll see you tomorrow. We see Dylan Levesque and his teammates tomorrow, and they see a Mexico team they just saw last night. Chris, your takeaways from what happened last night that they can try to turn around in tomorrow night's contest?
I think, as Dylan Levesque said, they're going to have to play a clean game defensively, get clutch hits when they get runners on. If they do that, they'll come out on top.
All right, so simply put, we've got 2 semifinals for you tomorrow night at MTC Sports as we wrap up the Ivy Tech Community College postgame show. Beginning at 5 o'clock, it is Hoosier North at Aruba, then followed by Lafayette All-Stars versus Mexico. If Aruba and Mexico win, they are on to the championship game Wednesday night at 7:30. If either Hoosier North or Lafayette win tomorrow, they will force playback games in those same matchups on Wednesday afternoon. That'll do it for our coverage tonight. For Chris Walker and our entire MTC Sports crew, this is Greg Rakestraw. Good night from Lafayette, and thank you for watching the 2016 Colt World Series on MTC Sports.